at the same time, right? I can't be bad.
Spots in the deep they lurk, like twisted water dogs. In shadows they smirk, down in the rivers, out in the seas. Masters of the deep, dolphin mysteries. Bottlenose freaks, short beaks in the night. Humpback shadows, pygmies out of sight. All the dolphins, you know it's true. Rolling deep in the ocean blue. Stripes and spots, they rule the tide. Water dogs of the deep, they don't hide. In the river's grip, seas endless bounty. Ruling the waves, dolphin Illuminati. Praised by Romans, gods to the Greeks. Underwater rulers, the power peaks. In ocean depths, their counts to 6. Dolphins in the dark, never calling it quits. Striped and spotted in the sea's domain. Aquatic dogs in their own insane lane. Through rivers they ride, seas they roam. In the ocean depths, they make their home.
Well, I talk about insanity, which is what's going on in your mind, and outside, which is where you communicate with those outside. As you know, if you give too much of your insanity, they'll lock you up. Oh, I tried. Giving as much as I could. They locked me up.
Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, clones, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunnilinguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, clones, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up yourselves. Happy Friday night and welcome back to another episode of the Secret Society of Good Guys. As always, we are your good guys. Hi.
Hi.
I'm not
Lagging.
I'm changing it up a little today. Hi. Did you say you're dragging, Abbie?
It's Brittany.
I'm
bitch.
lagging and I can see it on the video.
Oh, your video is lagging, but your sound doesn't seem like it is.
Usually I'm the lagger.
That is true.
It's weird because I'm using my freaking Cat 6 Ethernet cable. I thought it would be better, but
Cat 6. We're on like Cat 9 now. Come on.
Cat 9 is still, come on. Cat 6 is, most people are using Cat 5.
Isn't it
Cat 6
strange
is with,
that we
with
did not
laser,
have...
okay? Cat 5 is LEDs. It's still better.
Speaking of Cat 5 and Cat 9, isn't it strange that we have not had a hurricane touch land this year in Florida? And isn't it ironic that at the same time Donald Trump fired most of these scientists that, you know, are involved in all of that? So it's just like ironic.
Well, I think it's interesting because Thomas Massey actually put out a post today on X and he took a picture of the Kentucky sky and he was like, oh, look how nice the government shut down and no chemtrails today. So I thought that was kind of along the same lines. Oh, weather mod isn't happening as much. The cuts the USAID and all of a sudden we don't have as many hurricanes anymore. Not as many people want to
Yeah,
transition,
strange.
or there aren't as many hurricanes. How odd.
Yeah. First time in a long time,
Are you
too.
saying
The whole entire year.
hurricanes make people want to transition?
I don't think anyone. I feel like the amount of people that actually want to transition and the amount that were propagated to that want to transition are entirely different things.
Wouldn't it be crazy though if it were linked to the weather? Because I mean, has that study even been done?
Isn't there something about a gay old day?
Disney has gay days, so I don't know. I always avoid the park that day because I have no idea. Does that mean it makes you gay, or I don't know?
I could be crazy, but I feel like during like the first Desert Storm, and maybe it's sooner than that, they were trying to like do some kind of like gay spray on the soldiers. Am I making this up, chat? Like, tell me about.
Isn't it AstraZeneca? That chemical?
I was like, it'll be fine. We won't talk about anything that'll get us in trouble on YouTube in the first 10 minutes. I'm
We
going to
won't
stop
get in
this
trouble
off.
for that.
They're just cool with everything.
we'll
They
be
don't ban
alright.
anyone anymore.
When you were in boot camp, was there like always the rumor going
Saltpeter?
around that they put the saltpeter in the eggs?
Oh yeah. No, it wasn't the eggs. It was the weird yellow colored liquid that every single meal you had to drink at least 3 of these colored liquids.
What?
And it wasn't quite Powerade or Gatorade. And there was always like an orange and a purple and a yellow and a red. Like it was all these different colors, but you had to drink 3 at every meal. And if you didn't, it was a problem. And that's was the rumor.
Air Force only. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
Do you think
That's
a thing for
super
gay
sus.
sex is rocking somebody like a hurricane? Sorry to throw off your saltpeter conversation about the military.
That's okay.
To me, I just feel like the military, everybody was so horny that like the military kind of made you gay. Like that's what I think.
The Mariners are gay. I seriously, speaking of gay sex, since you said that, like I went down the gay sex rabbit hole because I had to figure out how it all worked. Like I was reading Reddit threads of gay men.
It can't
and
be
I was
that
like,
complicated.
Gay men. Yeah.
oh, but it kind of is. Like, well, the whole
there
tops
is
and
this-
bottoms, I had to figure out like it seems like if you're the bottom, that would suck, but like I had to
Literally.
figure out how they got off. So I had to sit there and read all about it.
You had to learn
Figured
about
it
a
out.
prostate?
there was
You
this
sound like a classic
interesting
top,
post
by the
that
way.
I know. Like you had to learn about a prostate? What?
No, I had to learn about like because it seems obviously the top seems like they would get off, right? But like the bottom, like I don't know. I was like, how does this work?
You're a woman.
Yeah, I'm a woman. I can get
I
off.
know, but
like,
don't you understand how it works? How they get off?
like to
They're
get off.
getting filled.
That's what I wanted to know. But they just got off from that, or if they had to like masturbate.
Sometimes both. The
I
same
guess
way as girls.
if you're on one of those experiences, right? Like first you realize you're gay, but then you have to realize, okay, now what kind of gay?
Yeah, I'm a pitcher or
Well,
a catcher.
there's this interesting
Or both.
post that I
Switch
saw
hitter.
about this
I
guy
get switch.
talking about like, hey, you think LGBTQ? I don't know if we talked about it, but he's like, you think LGBTQ plus is the problem? It's like, no. Asexuality is going to be the future problem, and it's already happening. And they're doing studies that more and more people are not finding not like humans attractive, like they're attracted, but they just don't want to like have intercourse because they're witnessing what is happening in the sexual realm of things, and like people
That's
sleeping
the
with
A. You're literally
everybody.
describing in the LGBTQIA plus. That's the A part.
Yeah.
That's literally what the A stands
Well,
for.
that is a growing epidemic, they're saying. It's like more and more people are not having sex because of one class of
too, Rhonda.
people, because of the jab. Like they're a little afraid, which is me here. Hello. But then there's a lot of people who are just like not into the idea of like sharing bodily fluids with people, and it's growing and growing and growing. And they said that that's going to be like a huge epidemic in the United States. And I don't
Well, if
know.
childhood's
That's pretty
ended,
interesting to think
then
about.
That's okay.
Secret
know who's not
Society of
having-
Good Guys for the
you know
power
who-
top in your neighborhood.
There's a few groups that aren't going through that crisis and that dilemma though. and it's pretty much all of the new people coming in, right? Like immigrants aren't going through like a weird identity crisis,
No.
and at least not at the same level.
It's a white person problem.
I mean,
Well, this is kind
Yeah.
of tied to, it's called when you give your like, wait, what is it called? When you're not having sex and I do it. It's not abstinence, it's the
it's
other one.
asex.
No, abstinence and the one where you're doing it for God.
Atheist?
There's
Oh,
no,
abstinent?
there's two words.
Wait.
Abstinent and the other one where you're like doing it for God. There's
I'm a
another word.
host for Jesus.
Abstinent is doing it.
I didn't know
But
there was
anyway,
another word.
it's
I know. I don't either. That's
yeah,
why.
I forgot the word. But it's actually, it becomes a syndrome into people. Like they start to when they go a long period of time without having sex, like they just prefer not to have it anymore and they become asexual. There you go,
Oh
celibacy.
yeah.
So there's a term and
That's
it's
the word.
it's an actual thing that if you go too long without having sex, you do not want to have sex anymore. And it's like not
Like a
healthy. So then
virgin.
you have the spiritual, like religious reasons saying, oh, you shouldn't have sex and you shouldn't have sex and blah, blah, blah. And it's not good and you should save your sexual energy. But then you have the other side are like, no, sexual energy is actually very useful and you can transmute that and use that for like intentions and manifestation and all of that. So there's like this
Yeah.
whole bipolar idea of like what sex is and like what it's turning into now. And like people are just shifting in this, like, I'd rather not.
I mean, aside from 16th century alchemists, it's the only real magic. Like the older dudes that went and just lived by themselves in huts, but then
Yeah.
like sex magic came, and that ever since someone discovered that, it's never been the same again, right? Like it's like Crowley was huge proponent of this, but if you go into any of the elites today, if you assume that any of the elites are actually doing some form of like old school religion, this is a large component of it in every single telling. Like even if
Yeah.
you go back to
They
like the
even
17th centuries.
Yeah, they even talk about how masturbation is part of that whole ritual, and there's like a whole practice behind masturbation
We're getting into
magic,
Mock
and
Saga
like
already.
it
It's not
goes
even
so
like
deep.
10 minutes in.
What is
Can
it?
we make a
Box
power
saga.
top
Which
shirt
saga?
with like a top?
I've never researched that, honestly. That's the one
It's
rabbit hole
very
I haven't went
Jewish,
down
Abbie.
yet.
I know. I kind of like it.
Power top, but it's a dreidel in the
Yeah.
picture.
Yes. Let's fucking do it. Can
See, soon you guys, it's gonna be so dangerous. I'm gonna be like Thomas Market. We'll end up with boxes of shirts. Like, oh, look at it, the power top shirts from 2025
I wonder if we can donate them.
to the ACLU. Oh shit. Yeah.
Do you guys see that being a problem though? Like people not wanting to have sex with each other? Is it gonna be like
Well, do you think
Demolition
like in the
Man style
50s
where
there
it's
was a
gonna
whole bunch of germaphobes, or do you think that was a problem that we kind of took on as we had actual less real life problems? It's like in the first world problems, part of the thing I see is there was something when I worked in a nursing home when I was younger, and these old people, they would say the smaller their world, the more the little things matter. So when you move their, desk 2 inches to the left, it wrecks their world. Whereas if they were out and about and spent time in other places, moving that desk 2 inches wouldn't matter. Sometimes I feel like that's kind of what we're in a little bit. Everybody's kind of trapped, cut off in their house and not doing anything. They're antisocial. They're becoming like it's a learned thing. It only takes 3 weeks to learn a habit. So they've been doing it for a few years now. They fight online as their only hobby. And I just think that they're making all these things big things, but they aren't really big things in a way. I don't know. I don't know where the beginning of that started. Yeah.
Well, I think the end result is something that the state's been trying to, depending on how much you believe conspiracy theories. But for example, you've got the People's Temple, and before it turned into Jonestown and everyone drinking Kool-Aid, it was still being funded by the state in like various ways before they even left to go to Guyana. And one of the key practices they did that I think was so wild before they even moved is that they had these like public marriages where everyone in the church would get together and they would kind of decide which two parishioners should hook up to have kids in order to make like the best kids for this little community of People's Temple and like Jonestown peoples. And the same thing happened in the Oneida community. And it's something that
you
like
whispered over Thomas, like we aren't on a law show.
if the state
Sorry, go on,
takes
Tom.
over that, then essentially you get this thing where you just go and deposit, and they've got your credit score, they've got your classroom scores, like they basically have your credit score, and then they'll match it with someone else that the state thinks is like, well, if these two numbers get together, it would create like a much more productive person. And I think that's kind of where it's essentially headed. Like if you see in collapsing demographics like in Japan, it's going to be one of the two. It's either going to be a eugenics program, like a opt-in eugenics, or it's just going to be as many immigrants can come in as possible so that like they'll play along with this new system, because like it'll be a stipulation to a certain point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like you have people here who, like this person here you highlighted earlier, even though you hate, you still come and watch.
The
It's
weird
just,
part
like,
is, this is what I really think
hilarious.
sometimes. This
It's
is
like-
real life. The weird part is
It's
I
so
think it's
funny.
probably somebody who smiles to my face. I think it's a burner account
Probably.
of somebody. That's what the weird part of online is. It's like so many like cowards, and it's like a weird grown person behind a like cartoon figure instead
Yeah.
of like. And so it's like how I was saying, like the smaller your world is, the more the little things matter. There's people that like genuinely choose to like, they could do anything right now. They could paint, they could jerk off, they could watch YouTube.
Yeah,
And
but you're
here, like
here.
looshing themselves. And it's just, I think the whole thing's kind of just an interesting. I notice people doing this in real life a lot, where they are like turned up and
Still a
take
fan.
something very personal that literally has nothing to do with them. Like they get
Still a
turned
fan.
up and no, I'm not even talking about this. I'm just talking about like people in life, they go to the store and somebody else that doesn't even see them there grabs a grocery cart before them, and then they just sit there alone and their whole grocery trip's ruined and they loosh themselves into the whole trip. That's like the akin to like sitting here and hate watching a show. It's like a 70-year-old lady who used to like call the FCC about Howard Stern. Like Janet's
Literally.
nipple fell out at the Super Bowl. Did you see Janet's nipple? That's Illuminati. Did you see that? I don't know. I just think it's interesting. So shout out,
Illuminati
Serpy.
confirmed.
That's
Thanks for
it.
coming
Yeah,
again.
Thank you. It boosts our huge ratings.
Thanks
'cause
for your
nobody
life force
else,
energy. I appreciate it.
it's weird.
Yeah.
The YouTube.
I'm his energy vampire. I'm sucking the life out of his soul right now.
Why
I
would
love
you
it.
even
Weird
think
bitch.
Crowley about me? You're so absurd. Thank you, Bianca.
I'm drinking through.
Can we talk
I'm
about
drinking his
this?
life force through my coffee grinds.
Real quick, for real, Layla, can we talk about your Reiki? Yeah,
My
with
Reiki?
Bianca,
Yeah.
with Binks, who shout out to Binks, you guys. I just love her. Like she was so helpful during my whole cancer drama. So tell us about your Reiki experience.
So it was pretty amazing. It's the experience that I've had before because here's the thing, like when you have energy attachments, like you don't realize it. Like you're used to doing certain things that are good for you, and then these certain attachments you don't realize that you have. And these energies don't want you to do well. Like they'll live in you. And like we talked about, they'll live in your chakras. They'll like, kind of possess you in a sense, or like sit in the driver's seat of you when you should be sitting in the driver's seat. So what she did was actually tap into my meridians and my energy field and see if I had any attachments. And I did. And this energy loved me. Like when I tell you loved me, it loved me. And I saw this energy in my dream where I kept waking up in an alternate reality, which was what seemed like true reality. And I saw this being, and that's the being that was attached to me, whatever it was. So throughout the Reiki experience, she's just doing what she does in her chants and her energy work. And you could feel the energy pulling in different parts of your body to the point where you're feeling pressure in your joints, like building up from your hips to your knees to your ankles. And you just feel these energies leaving your body through your, for me, it was my toes. And what I've learned, I used to do, well, not really learn about this. And it's like the Sufi practice of tapping into universal consciousness, which is the breath, which is literally everything. It's just like a line that you just decide to tap into, and you can tap into it. It's like you don't need a book, you don't need anything, just knowing that universal consciousness, which is God, is there whenever you need it. So it's like, in that idea, when you go into self-meditation and have that idea and completely let go in that idea that God has you and that universal consciousness is easy to tap into, you can do this Reiki stuff on yourself if you know how to practice it. And she reminded me, and that energy attachment can pull you away from that practice. So if like you started doing something and it was working for you, but then all of a sudden you just stop doing it, and when you're starting to do it, like you get agitated or pissed off, those are the energies that prevent you from doing the thing that is beneficial for you. So ever since that moment, I've been doing better. I'm looking better. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like I look
glowing.
better. Yeah, so I'm watching what I eat. The pain is still there, but it's not as sharp as it was. So we'll see. The more I do it, the more the information that she gave me to follow, I practice. So the more I do, and the more faith in myself that I know that that energy is out there, it's all good. You can heal yourself. You really can. Just talk to yourself sometimes too. Talk to your cells, your mitochondria too, especially the crystal. Talk to your crystal inside of you, your mitochondria.
Well, that's where
That's a big key.
Zinni, shout out to Zinni. She would always say like moldavite is like one of those stones that if you carry moldavite, like whatever's going to happen in your life is going to happen quicker. Like it's like abrupt with it. It rushes it. Like if you're in an unhappy marriage and get moldavite, you're going to get a divorce. Like it's like everything's like super rushed. Sometimes I think that's how Reiki is. It's like whatever's going to happen anyway it's like somehow it makes it happen quicker. And then I don't know if that's true or not, because that's the only timeline that you're on, is that one that you did Reiki.
There's the whole like tapping into single consciousness and all that. There's a version of that you don't go to hell for too. I think it's Gospel of Thomas 77, which it's heretical, I believe. I don't think it's part of the normal Bible. So technically it's Apocrypha. I'm pretty sure Gospel of Thomas, but it's the one that says, "Turn over any stone and I am there," which was the exact opposite thing that the church wanted you to think. They wanted you to think you had to go to like a certain place under a certain pretense in order to get access to it. But that whole concept of like being able to tap in any time has been around since forever. It's actually kind of like the default that then got channeled in a different direction.
And when you do, honestly, sometimes like you'll have the moments of like feeling complete bliss and joy, of like feeling like the moment you actually like let go. And when you feel that feeling of letting go and you feel everything that is happening within your body, like you can't help but just like emotion just floods out of you. Like you're just crying and you don't even know why you're crying. Like the energies that you feel like through your body, like I don't want to say it's like serpent-like, but it is. Like you feel the energy flowing through your body, and it's like it leaves your body. I can't explain it, but it's something pretty cool to tap into, like when you can, and like quiet your mind and just really pay attention to your body and the way your heart beats and like the way the blood flows in your body. Like you could feel everything. When you pay attention to that, like you start unlocking things in yourself.
We can't handle it. This
It's
is
weird.
the whole premise of that room that no one can last 10 minutes in because it's so quiet. You've probably heard or seen like a little short on it,
Yeah.
but it's just this sound or this room that's so sound treated that you can't basically hear anything at all. So that if you're sitting there, you can start to hear like your heart beating, and people
Yeah.
claim to hear blood moving through their veins, and it freaks you out. Like people are like, I need to get out of here. Otherwise, I don't know, like ... or what? What are they gonna start like trying to peel themselves like an orange or something? But apparently, it causes incredible distress to be reminded of your like organic nature and your mortality.
I don't know why. There's like two ways to go about it. I hear there's like the way of like letting go and like emptying yourself, and then there's the opposite of which are the same because it's on the same spectrum, and they're both beneficial. But then there's the other one where you fill yourself up, and it's just with like love, like going the Krishna route, the Jesus route, the Isa route, like filling yourself up with love. And then you have the Buddha route, which is like you empty yourself and you just like completely let go. There's that.
As within, so without.
Yeah.
Like that balance.
I love it. Yeah.
Can you just do like
I'm letting go of
one
religion.
like on Mondays and the other one on Tuesdays, and then just like alternate and call it even between the two?
Well, it depends on which one you want to be, because those are different like paths. Like letting go of everything is like living the
That's
like
what I'm saying though.
non-material.
Couldn't
Well,
you just
even
do like Mondays, I'm gonna be full of
Jesus.
love, and then Tuesdays, I'm gonna let it all go, and then I'll just alternate back and forth indefinitely.
maybe
What is
maybe that's how the
Balance. It's called balance.
no? But
Or
what
every
is
year,
that
you
called?
can do like a year. This year, it's all love, and then next year, it's like
letting
it's all
go.
about letting everything go.
Like separation. There's like a thing where it's like a spiritual separation of everything. What's that called?
The
What's
what?
that? It's like a spiritual separation of everything. Like it's where you decide to actually let go. You let go of all your possessions. You let go of all your ownership to any title that you give to another human being. So no one is like your spouse or your brother or your parent. Like there's like a spiritual term for it.
Sounds like sovereign citizenship.
I know, but there's like it's an actual like cleansing where you don't have the weight. You carry no weight of possessions. It's, I don't know. I feel like I had a
don't know
migraine
either.
today, and I feel like
I had
my
one
brain
yesterday.
is
It was
like
so bad.
I honestly, it's like I go from this is your brain on drugs, where like I just sit in like I feel like my brain's frying inside my head, and then I internalize what the Titan submarine must have been like on the Titanic as it's like goosh goosh in their last pops they
Terrible.
heard before
Yeah.
it was the hottest feeling in the world rushing through their body and they were shredded apart. That's what I think about, like how quickly
I
that
don't know if
death
Very
was.
vivid.
I don't know if you've seen
me
the
and my migraine.
documentary, but they replay exactly what they heard in there, and it sounds like popcorn going off.
Oh.
Yeah,
Really?
so this is the craziest thing. So the way
Our heads
the way that
popping
they
off?
figured out how to like add sensors to this Titan to see whether or not it was like this carbon fiber was holding up under pressure is they rigged it with, I'm just gonna make up a number, but they rigged it with like 400 or 4,000 little microphones all over the whole thing. And so then as they would go down, they would be listening to it, and the microphones are right next to the hole. So as the carbon fibers are snapping and breaking, it sounds like popcorn going off. You just hear like pop, pop, pop. And then as they go lower, it's like pop, 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 pop. And then when they come back up and they're replaying all this, it sounds exactly like when you know the popcorn is at its fever pitch, when like all the different kernels are popping off. That's kind of what was happening to the
Holy
hole.
shit.
But every one of those popping noises was another strand of carbon fire just snapping.
Damn.
They were saying like they stored that sub like somewhere up north, New York, Canada,
It
somewhere
froze,
cold,
yeah.
Pennsylvania, and it was in freezing temperatures. So every time the temperature dropped below freezing and then came back up, like water would seep in and separate this carbon fiber hull from and this is the weird part about the Titan sub that I just think is a conspiracy, like an angle that I've just heard started to be talked about, is that the homie knew his whole project was, no pun intended, sinking. It was like a money pit, and that he was kind of very comfortable and would almost joke about how he was going to die. And some people theorize that the guy that went down, like he hadn't been down on a few journeys in a little bit, you know, and like that he actually knew this sub was going to do that and was like, it was a suicide mission. Like
Weird.
people think it, like there's like all these talks out there now that he was well aware of everything that was going on with this submarine and that
Well,
he was
I
in a
think
weird
for
place.
sure, factually, he was well aware. Like there was no question. He had plenty of reports, and every time that anyone brought any of these reports up, he would just fire them. And he literally he promoted the accountant of the company to be their lead pilot because of all the, like, he got rid of lead engineering. He got his like original lead pilot. He just kicked them all out because they would go to him and be like, dude, have you heard this popcorn thing? Like, this is concerning and we shouldn't be doing this. And he would just be like, you guys don't see the vision, out of here. So there, objectively, he knew about every single problem. The only real question is, like, was he crazy? Was he suicidal? Like, what was he actually doing down there?
Homicidal?
Well, and here's another
Both,
thing
yeah.
too. Like there's like a lady and guy sitting there. They're at like this computer on the mission. They're like the central command of this mission on the boat, like down. They're sitting there chit-chatting with each other because they're on camera. Every mission's on camera, and they're like chit-chatting with each other. Like everything's fine. It's just another day at sea. They hear it. It almost sounds like something hitting a pipe in a wall. It's like kink. And it could be on a boat, it could be something at deck, but you see this lady's whole demeanor change. Like it's the sound of the sub imploding, but it was so, by the time it got to the top of the water, the sound that it made, but she knew exactly what the sound was because immediately she's like, oh, when was the last time they tested? You can drop 2 more weights because they said that like the explosion moved quicker than the communication device because they were like a mile down or a half mile down or whatever. So the explosion actually makes it to the top before her saying drop the weights because they asked, can we drop more weights? So it's like at first she thought everything was okay because it looked like they communicated after she heard this explosion, but it was just how quickly the speed of sound traveled.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wild.
Damn.
If any of it's real. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I also take the philosophy.
Part of me too, whether real or not, but the perception is that it's real and that it happened. And the ultimate like end impact of this is that less people are going to want to explore the ocean, and the government's got even more reason to like enact oversight, because the whole reason this guy was even able to do this were a whole bunch of legal workarounds where he didn't technically need to get it certified, and if you don't get it certified, I don't think you can like turn it into a commercial venture. And as long as you can do some kind of legal background where it's like, it's just me and my buddies and I'm just bringing them down to the ocean in this thing I got here, as long as it stayed that way, he was able to do all this. So now there's a legal precedent and a reason for the nanny state to be like, now no one's allowed to make your own submarines anymore. And this specific event could be the thing that makes it so now you can't do that by yourself. Just like you can't make your own
rocket ship anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you could at some point, you could have done that, but at this point, you'd be violating probably all sorts of like aerospace and different law, like NORAD laws or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, that technically does not exist for submarines. But I'm sure it's in motion now because of the whole Titanic event.
Here's something weird. So everything crushes on there. Like they had to go through like whatever pieces that they found, and they almost had, because they were like kind of small, like some twisted metal, blah, blah, blah. Everything imploded, or, you know, his fucking fountain pen was completely intact.
So like the passports, huh?
Why didn't they just make it out of whatever that was made out of?
Yeah, his fountain pen was completely, perfectly okay.
Well, they sell those pens that can be used underwater.
And like you're saying,
why didn't they just use that?
Yeah.
Here's another weird thing. Now that you mention it, passports. Here's another fucking weird thing that I didn't even think about until this moment in my dusty little filing cabinet in my brain. They also find 2 business cards and a patch from the submarine that make it like his pocket kept intact.
Okay.
And inside his pocket, he had 2 business cards written on and a patch from the submarine.
I could see that though, because it's not like the way that it imploded would necessarily vaporize every single thing inside. And anything that had room to give would be given up that room. But if you're a business card or a patch, it's not like you already have some kind of internal structure and water inside you that can't just be squished out. If you try and squish water out of one of us, like, it doesn't work as well.
But that's the fountain pen. It goes against the fountain pen thing a little bit with the same philosophy of the pocket.
That's a good point.
And the other thing with the pocket and the 2 business cards, then I look at this whole other idea. You're a billionaire and his son. You're whoever else was on there with aeronautics and whatever. And then this guy with the submarine. If I can find like your pocket with 2 business cards and I'm like, oh, Chaney's a goner, then it's a perfect fake death. It is it's better than just falling off a boat. It's like you just sink the sub to the bottom. It implodes. You know they can't fucking find a piece of anything on it. It's going to take them days. It's like such a brilliant fake death. It makes Robert Maxwell look silly.
This is going to be the new the new solution for like, what is it, Norwegian or Canadian depression. They're just going to send you down in a little 1-person Titan sub until you implode.
But they say it's actually a painless death. Like it is
That's
one of
what
the
I'm
quicker
saying. Yeah,
ways
this is
to
better
die.
than the pod in the forest. This is just a pod in the ocean.
Yeah, they just drop you and sink you.
I recently discovered a weird phenomena that happened in 1908 that no one talks about in Siberia. And it's called the Tunguska explosion. And they are like either saying that it was an asteroid that hit, but if you look at the crater, there's no crater. And it like flattened about 80 million trees, okay? Left no crater. People from hundreds of miles away could see this explosion, which was larger than the Hiroshima explosion, apparently, if that was real. But yeah, it's a weird fucking phenomenon that happened that literally destroyed everything around it, but no crater. But it was like a huge explosion of over 50 megatons. Look at that.
Could have been military.
It's so
That's
weird.
the other explanation, is that it was either something from outer space or it was something from military.
Or I wonder, since I think was the land of Jesus that they had back in around Siberia, that was on the old maps that they had, or the Sea of Jesus or something like that, or the land of Mary. I have to pull up the map, but I feel like there's some kind of old Tartarian information, or they exploded something there, or maybe there was some kind of energy tower there that was part of the Tartarian free energy. Probably was the source, and they exploded it. I don't know, but it's just odd that thing happened without a crater. It imploded just before it hit the ground, but that doesn't make sense. Like it would still leave
A mark on the outside.
a crater with its 50 megatons of explosion.
It sounds like the plane that
Like-
hit the Pentagon.
Yeah, it's just
Sometimes that happens.
weird.
Sometimes things just vaporize and you don't ask questions.
Hold on. What was it? The land of
But what hit Building 7?
Or 6 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I was in the Keys this past week, and I also looked into some pirate stuff while I was there, and I didn't realize, like, all through the Florida Keys, how it kind of comes around in this hook to Florida. There was like this area between like Key West and the coastline where there was this pirate that lived there, and his name was Black Caesar, and he would just free slaves. He would just pretty much just like he hated the crown so much, and so he actually, it was like Black Caesar, I might be wrong, but I feel like Blackbeard, like Mary Read, like every pirate that, like, literally the pirates of the Caribbean were like a real thing, and they went to war against the crown. They all came together to battle the fucking crown. And so over and over again, even down to the Civil War of our country, at a time, the South, the crown was going to come in and help the South beat the North. And Russia was like, if you do that, we're going to interject. And that was the only thing that kept him at bay. But if you really look back at like our country pre-White House, every part of our country is some other country joining up with the natives and people that ended up here to battle the crown. It's like they all speak this little language. And if you actually think of like the South, like that Southern slang, that Southern drawl is really just British. It's just slowed down so much you can't understand it anymore. So it's like that South still carries that very English thing. And it was making me think too, you know, we talk about like Israel being like whatever Israel is, and whatever the Catholic Church is, whatever the House of Saud is. And we always talk about the royals, and we always talk about the royals being German. And then it was like, oh my gosh, the people of Britain were like one of the first peoples to get taken over by this whole cabal. And like they actually had a family infiltrate and pretend they were their fucking crown. And that's like before the Balfour Agreement or before any of those fucking shit, and it's like the entirety of the crown is a LARP. And it was just kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Like this whole German family just came in, changed their name, and was like, we're the queen now. And it's just, you know, like we can talk about, hey, Israel just put themselves there. Hey, we're Israel now. Like the crown is the exact
fake it till you
same
make it. That's like the ultimate story of fake it till you make it.
It is. It's like the Catholic Church being like, oh, we're Catholic now. It's like we're just taking this Protestant and this pagan thing and we're mixing it together. You're going to call it Catholic now. It's like we keep it, but it just really dawned on me. Whereas like as much as I hate the crown, I'm like, dang, they were infiltrated too once.
Yeah.
Dog.
All of them.
I know. Tonight in the astral, Queen Elizabeth is going to come to me like, you little bitch.
Even if you're not like straight up infiltrated by an outside source that like comes in and changes everything, roughly like every 50 years, the entire basis of whatever you were doing, like by the time the new blood takes that over and they run it and then new blood comes in behind them, it's already going to be completely different. It might as well have been infiltrated. It's just a much longer timeline. And even if you don't want it to happen, that still happens. Even in like the Catholic Church, essentially that like, I don't know what the theologian is, but there's like a common understanding that every 50 years, the entire religion is kind of unrecognizable from its previous version 50 years ago. And I think that kind of applies to everything, even if you don't want it to, like education and cultural norms and everything.
Political
every
parties,
50 years, it completely changes. Yeah.
Pirates aren't pirates though. Like even how they put the black flags, like even the Disney retelling, everything about it. I'm like, these people literally didn't give a shit who was the president, who was the king, who was the prime minister, who was the pope, and that's why they're called pirates. Yeah. And they didn't answer to anyone. They didn't have to go and steal gold. Oh, pirates, they're stealing gold to bring to who? To bring to who? Like they say pirates, like they would have a gold earring or a gold tooth just so they could pay for their own burial. Like they weren't trying to steal extra gold.
I always think of them as like Templar a little bit here too, though, because that was another claim of the Templars, is that they had to share a horse because it was, you know, they were so broke, but really they were managing all this everyone's money and transporting it and like as these like merchant protectors, and that's exactly what the pirates were too. Like the weird psyop thing, the historical psyop against pirates is that they were these ruffian criminals that, you know, would just be drunk all the time and just shooting everyone in sight. And in reality, they were like master nautical astrologers. They understood all sorts of different like management. They were like high level management people. They were good people. And then on top of that, they had connections. So these are like, we're talking about elite people. These would be like, if you just took the Knights Templar and put them on the water, you kind of get pirates.
Yeah, another psyop that they fed us with gold is that, oh, an asteroid hit this planet and is spread all across the planet. But that's impossible. Like the amount of gold that this Earth produces, especially in the cavities of where earthquakes happen, any part of an earthquake like vein, that's where you're going to find a lot of gold. And they've been finding gold like with stones growing in the ground. It's like an element that actually grows and it's not rare. It's like the whole diamond thing, like, oh, diamonds are so rare and let's put it on the market. Who owns the diamond industry? That certain group. Who wants to
Dead
control the gold
Jews.
industry?
But it's
That
written like De
certain
Bears.
group. And it's just like they do it with everything just so they can grab it all and have it all.
But I just thought it was also interesting with Black Caesar. One, the name Caesar, that he decided to go for that. Like he has some kind of knowledge of who Caesar was in this Roman history, or is history all a mother? I'm not gonna lie. And then also everything that we're led to believe because of the whole slavery trope. But I also think the Moors were probably black Nubian seafarers. And so I just think somewhere with the Knolls, like the semi-Knolls and Knoll being noble, like in ways in Florida, I just think there was something else going on with the Keys in general. And I also found out this, like how we call it Key West. It was like some word in Spanish that the Spaniards would call it, because when they came up on it, and it was like Key Westilles or some word. Somebody can correct me in there in the chat, but it just meant Bone Island. Like it was so covered with bodies, and you had to like kick bodies out of the way when you would go there, and so they just nicknamed it Bone Island. And so whiteys are like Key West.
It's funny
Key
because
West.
it's back to
West.
being Bone Island, but now it's just like
Bone Island and
kind
gay.
of Bone Island, yeah.
Boning.
I will say, as like just myself in the world at nighttime in a place, there's very few places in the world where I feel like I could lay down on the street and fall asleep and literally not be messed with here. That's how Key West feels.
Wow.
Like it just feels like a
Safe.
very safe place. Very relaxed.
As long as you don't pass out
Nice.
with like $100 bill poking out of your pocket.
Maybe you might get like, I don't know. I even think the mugging and everything or any of that stuff. I thought you were going to say, as long as you don't fall asleep with your butt poking up. Like,
A little sign. It's like only one per person, please.
yeah, it's like, I am not a Templar horse. Oh shit. But it was interesting. I like that kind of nerdy historical stuff, and the Keys has a lot more history than I thought it did.
The
Even
thing
as a
about the
Floridian.
Keys too is, especially if you're not leaving and coming on a boat, that once you're there, like you are as far down into any pocket in the entire country that you can possibly get, I think, outside of finding yourself lost in the middle of like Yellowstone or something. But once you're down in the Keys, like you've got a good 3 or 4 hours to just get out of the Keys, let alone just into the tip of Florida again. That's kind of a wild, isolated feeling, you know. It always blows my mind too whenever we do have a hurricane that approaches. The Keys is like one of the first places that everyone starts watching all the live feeds. It's like, all right, let's see how the Keys handles this storm as it comes up. And if you're there in that spot, there's only one way in and one way out of the Keys as well. Again, unless you're taking a boat. So if you're driving a car, it's such a weird experience to know that you're like sending yourself down into this place that you're gonna have to leave again, which is basically the entire state of
It
Florida.
is weird.
That's how Shelter Cove
Why
is,
they
where
call it the Keys,
Balderson
though.
lives. It's like one road in, one road out, and you're like, God, forest fire, earthquake. It's
I
kinda
stayed
sketchy.
in a hotel down in the Keys, and it used to be an old military base, but it was a Flagler building. And there is a room at the hotel where like Al Capone stayed. This is like super history nerd shit. Like it's one of the Firestone, Ford, Flagler, Edison. Like Edison wired the whole place, and they have like who's the Ernest Hemingway's saddle on the wall at the southernmost point, which is like just a little walk down the road. The hurricane, I think I don't want to. It was maybe Eileen, whatever the last hurricane that was the really big one that just a few years ago that went through the Keys. The southernmost house.
Irene, right?
I think it's Irene. I think it's
Yeah.
Irene. It was. It's just this beautiful old Florida building, and it's pretty much the house at the southernmost tip of the Keys. And the winds were so strong. It has like a spire, like staircase, like one of the circular parts that come up. It pushed it off its foundation. Like you can see the actual, like where the bricks moved off themselves. It's just so crazy to think, like, and Key West on that side fared really well, but there was islands up through as it wraps up that the whole entire island got submersed by the ocean. And so some of these houses that are on these stilts out there, and I just think of it because my brother stayed down there during that hurricane. And I just can't imagine you're sitting in your house or at the southernmost point. Like he was not underwater, but there were so many houses that were. You're in your house and you look out in every direction as open ocean. That to me is like the stuff Nightmares is made of. Like nothing scarier to me than open ocean. And so it's
You like
just
cruises
like,
though, right?
and I swear to you, every single morning and every single night, one of my favorite things to do while I smoke weed on the smoking deck is I stare out at the open ocean and scare the shit out of myself. And then if you joined me next to me, Thomas, and we were smoking a joint, then we would end up talking for 2 hours of what if you fell off? What if I fell off? What if that lady fell off? What if Layla fell off? What if we
Dude, that
both fell
movie
off at
Open
the
Water,
same time?
that was
Yeah.
terrifying to me.
Dude, it's literally like my worst nightmare. And I feel like I should say this now because of how many times I talked about it. And like, I'm a person that's prepared. If T-Rex walks up, I'm like, what are you going to do right now? What are you going to do? You're like, run, I'm going to get my gun. I'm going to do this. No, bitch, you don't move. T-Rex can't see you if you don't move. Like you just have to talk about these things enough so they're innate. This is what the military is. So if somebody ever falls off a cruise around you or any boat for that matter, if you're going to jump, if you're going to pull the moment of being the fucking hero, throw the fucking ring first. This is the number one thing. The second that ring hits the water, it sends out a signal. So then the Coast Guard's automatically going to start coming. So when you can dive off and still be a hero, you don't have to sit in that open water as long because people don't realize, one, how far away from the boat you have to jump, which is insane. And they don't realize how quickly a person gets away from you in the water, that even if you're a good swimmer, for me to get to Layla, we'll just drift apart from each other. And now we're both way away from the boat. And now the boat, we're just watching it go away into the distance. Worst nightmare. This is my favorite shit, though, to do. Let's go on a cruise, y'all.
I have an acid trip story that's kind of like that. But it was at a lake and it was on jet skis.
No, thank you.
And it was a very windy day. My friend
Hopefully they
was
would
like,
know if you
That
fell
sounds
off
like
the
fun.
boat, though. They'd be able to tell because the whole premise of open water is that they go out on an excursion off of a big boat and then they don't get counted because like someone's doing something and as they're counting heads, that person like runs to the other side of the boat and they get counted twice or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing is but like if you fell off a cruise ship, I'd also be terrified of just getting pulled close to it or under it, or I'm sure that it wouldn't be fun if it came even close to you.
Oh, the whole idea of like boat rotors and stuff like that. Yeah, that's scary. And I'm sorry, just shit that swims. It's so scary. That's like the worst part for me.
Those are the aliens.
There's a lot more
Leviathan.
shit that swims than people think. And like people
I mean,
get
just
this-
even like a codfish, like you don't think that they're as big as they are, but it's like they're 10 feet long. That fucker could swallow you. Like,
I will. My scariest thing that I ever seen in the water. I've swum next to sharks, barracuda. Like my scariest thing is, and I've scuba dived, I've snorkeled, I've been under the water next to them. I've been on the sharks. I've been on surfboard next, with sharks.
Yeah.
The scariest thing, one time I was just in the water about to my waist and I was with a lady friend of mine and we were just chit-chatting back and forth and it was clear. It was like Gulf water, Bahamian water, clear and beautiful. I looked down, there was a Goliath grouper in the water in Florida. We lovingly call it a Jewfish. And it's funny because if you kind of look at it in the face, it looks like it's like, yeah, see? Yeah. Like it looks like it's about to run a mob thing on you. It's the scariest thing. I'm going to pull one up. But that's still the scare. I ran on top of the water to get out. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
They're not like aggressive.
And they're not
or
really
anything,
harmful, right?
I don't know if they're aggressive, but it was so
I heard
big.
they're not. Or maybe I'm bugging.
And I feel like every picture I'm pulling up right now, it's like, what's the big deal? Look at this. They're just chilling. Like it's obviously, but whatever. It didn't. In my head, it was coming right for me.
It's coming right at us.
Look at this thing.
Oh God, yeah, I'd be screaming.
Yeah, that's
I
scary.
almost felt like, honestly, ugly is seeing something that ugly is almost worse than seeing something dangerous. It gave me the same kind of fright. Like it was so ugly. I'd never seen something so ugly that it just
the Harvey
made
Weinstein of fish.
Yeah, it made my brain do something. Like I just was like, and I'm pretty good under pressure and like pretty protective. I totally left my friend. That's one of the times that I look back like, dang, I left that girl right in the water.
See you later.
Yeah, I could tell you her name right now. I haven't seen her in 20 years, but I could tell you her name because I remember. I was like, "Ooh, bad luck."
Pushed her down to get away from a grouper.
Yeah, I like hung her like I was what's it called, Abbie? Noodling. I noodled her.
Noodling,
right,
yeah.
right into the grouper mouth. Oh shit, that is so funny.
So government shutdown.
One fish, two fish. Tom Cruise do fish.
Hell. So yeah, the government shutdown. What is that about?
I don't even
No
know.
idea.
They didn't agree on some kind of bill or something, and now the government shut down until they agree on something. I don't even know what the agreement is for, what the bill is
But it's the
about.
budget. It's that they all have to agree on the budget and who's going to get what cuts of what money and what special interests get their piece of the pie. And until everyone comes up with something that they all agree on, then the government shuts down. And it's something that happens like every 4 years, no?
I feel like it happens like every year.
Yeah.
It usually
Like
happens
there's
every
Yeah,
year.
constantly
like every
one.
year.
Like, government shutting down.
Well, what it
I'm
is
just
every
like,
time we
whoa.
hear
Checked.
about it, they're putting an extension on a government shutdown that was supposed to happen however long ago. And so then this extension, like, okay, well, we're going to figure it out. We have to figure it out by this next date. And then the next date rolls around. Okay, we have to figure it out by this date. Then the next date rolls around.
Just feels like a loosh.
That's what I feel
Theater.
like.
Ugh.
I wish CB or Selby
Just
was
so
here so I could
annoying.
ask what they think of the government shutdown. It was too much. It really felt like it was
Oh, is that
either
what they're
an
fighting
ex.
on? Healthcare for illegal
I felt like it
aliens?
was either an ex of mine or like somebody who hated Trump and was taking it out on me.
I got a theory on the government shutdowns too, though, is that the government shutdowns could also just be their version of a test of like, okay, is this automated yet? Like, we're working on this automated government. Can we remove people from it and see how far that it runs itself? Because usually all of the essential systems that the government's needed for during a quote unquote government shutdown, they still exist, right? Emergency services still exist, military services still exist. Usually the one thing that makes itself most apparent to like the normal person is public parks. And there was only one government shutdown in recent history and like in our lifetimes. I think it was like 2013. And there was a government shutdown where they actually locked, like you couldn't go into any of the public parks. They put locks on all of them. But ever since that one, that hasn't happened again, even like the previous one. So really all that happens in these cases is that no one's going around and like picking up trash and emptying out like all of the outhouses and like the cleaning the public restrooms and stuff. Like those are the only things that aren't really being taken care of. But almost everything else can basically be automated. So I'm thinking that every time they do this government shutdown, it's also the government just like, how like are we at the point where we don't have to do anything at all? Right?
Yeah.
Like let's give this a test. We're gonna let the public know like we're not doing anything this month. at all.
Well, doesn't it
And
kind of
and
seem like the
government still
military?
exists.
Still running.
Like they do the same thing. They're like, oh my gosh, they're the budget cuts on the military, the budget cuts on the military. Well, no offense. I could house 1,000 soldiers or I could plug in 1,000 drones. What do you think is cheaper? Like, of course I'm going to make cuts to the military. It's cheaper to run a military than it's ever been. It's like when you see some idiot stand in front of Congress and they're like, and this is the least amount we've ever spent on B-2 bombers. And you're like, well, good, because those are made in the 1960s. Like they just say some
Right.
dumb shit. Like people bring up dumb statistics where you're like, I hope so. Like I hope technology where they're like, this is the most amount of presidents ever spoken on social media. Well, I fucking hope so. It's the most amount social media has ever been used.
Exactly.
Like I hate when people pull out dumb fucking statistics that make no sense. Like people's attention spans are just getting shorter and they just are putting more screens in a house.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
Soon you wouldn't need a screen. It's just going to be all holographic.
that's what they keep saying. Honestly, from what I got sold as the future when I was a kid, take away the flying cars, just hoverboards, and like you're saying, like I should be able to just put a thing on my phone and it go boing, and then it's Layla standing there 3D. Like
It'll be the glasses. That's the only like next step are those stupid ones that Zuckerberg was trying to push and they failed on his live. But that's going to be the thing is that everyone will just have glasses or contacts, and now you don't need holograms because like we could all see something different. You don't need a projector. It'll be right there on your eyeball.
Like Pokemon Go. It'll be like, oh.
And then when you take like your state sponsored public transportation, you can make it look like you've got a nice car or that you're on a hoverboard, but really you're just going to be getting into like a little pod that zips you around.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something, Layla.
No, I'm just thinking of the future. Wow. Wild.
We're in it. But I feel like that
20
even the
years from
VR
now?
thing, I feel like I have my own personal Mandela effect because every 10 years they try to sell me VR like it's going to be the hot new trend. And Joe Rogan talks about it like he's just seeing it for the first time. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm swimming with a whale. And then the next 10 years, and it never catches on. Like they sell these things for $500 that slowly go down to $30, and then you can get them on Temu. And it's like nobody's using VR everywhere. But what Thomas is talking about, I tried on a pair of those Ray-Bans.
Well, the AR, yeah.
Yeah, and how they like sit on your bone and how you don't have to have anything plugged into your ears. It's just kind of so you can like take a call or do whatever, and then some of them have screen capability.
Ultra.
So like not just VR, but now I can just read my tweets while I'm also looking at you or driving or doing I don't know. I think there's weird levels to the glasses that if they don't cover your whole head, and it's just like Thomas is saying, like something you can wear every day, that will be the game change. Like
Well, I mean,
watch.
that's the only difference between where we're at now and where we'll be on mass adoption. Because when you can just, like right now, go into the airport and buying a brand new iPhone is nothing. They're in vending machines at like every airport. So there'd be a version where you would just grab these out of a vending machine whenever you're going somewhere so that you could always make sure that you're not without it. Because that's the whole point is if you forgot your iPhone, or if you lost it or it got damaged, that you've got an easy way to get access to it because it's so ubiquitous. So I think that it's really just going to be when you can just go and grab a pair of of these AR glasses pretty much anywhere and drop $1,000 on them, and it's going to be seen as like a necessity because not just being able to read your tweets, but if you're having a conversation with someone and you bring up an event, you bring up like, oh, what are you doing next Tuesday? It'll just like be bringing up your calendar and showing you exactly what you're doing next Tuesday. So, and to then start to live without that extra little augmented reality helper, it'll kind of be the minority. It'll be like a person going out into the world right now without a smartphone of any kind.
Well,
like
and
not
I
even
have
owning
glass
one.
camera on the front too. I put up those Ray-Bans and they're only like $450, and they have a camera on both sides of the front too. That's small, but now it's just hasn't happened to the upgrade. Like what you're saying, I come across Layla in public, we're at a bar or whatever. My glasses can read exactly who she is, tell me everything about her social media. I can have my chat GPT set up to be like, give me 3 lines that'll pick up Layla, or give me 3 lines that'll offend Layla. And it can just read it right through my glasses and know, because they even have the thing just on the new iPhones where it's like, zoom into this and we'll tell you exactly what it is in public, like no matter what, like.
So, see, this is why I would never wear them, because I feel like wearables are where that I feel like the MK Ultra comes in. It's like all these wearables, especially like if you're not having these headphones plugged in, but you could still hear the voice through the I guess the whatever you call them part of the fucking what do you call that part of the glasses?
The bone conductors?
The stems? Whatever. Anyway, just think of that. Like they're by your brain and it's penetrating frequency and whatever into your like ear vessel. It's just I feel like it's
It's
another
crazy,
MK
Layla.
Ultra frequency. Like,
It's
yeah, I
kind of
don't think I
neat,
want that
like,
on me,
because
man.
your ears can hear past it in a way that, like, you can turn up the sound and you can drown out stuff. I don't know. I like it better than shit in my ears, but it was kind of wild.
I mean, this is like, again, naval technology. I think originally they used it to communicate underwater, so that it would be like a bone conductivity earphones. You can get them right now on Amazon, and they're usually popular with people that are working out or that don't want to have their ears like actually blocked for a whole bunch of other reasons.
Or if you have a loud job, like a really loud job that you also want to wear earphones at, like they're, I don't know. I could get down with those Ray-Ban glasses that I tried on. Like if the style was not quite my style, it was close, but they were still really nice.
Like the bone conductivity on notice.
Yeah, nah. I don't want to fuck with that.
What about
Mm-mm.
did you ever have a Fitbit or anything, or an Apple Watch? Did you ever do that?
I had an Apple Watch, but I barely wore it. It was just like irritant.
I mean,
like I could not wear it. It was nice too.
You've already got all that stuff. You've already got an MK Ultra, Fitbit, bone conductivity device in a smartphone. It's just awkward right now. Now you have to like bring it around with you. But again, if you could just put your smartphone like right here on top of your eyes, or just put a contact lens in, now you don't even have to worry about like forgetting or losing or dropping this weird old phone. Like it's going to be something that like grandparents talk about. They used to carry their phone around in their pocket.
Even don't you think it's like you were saying contact lens, just contact lenses alone in my lifetime, the technology of how you can just order any contact you want now on IG. You can go to the TikTok shop and get yourself some contacts. You used to have to go through a whole rigmarole and jump through hoops to get contacts.
You know, it's funny. They could try and replicate humans as much as possible and create the new technology. And oh, you could see this and you could see that, but they can never, ever replicate the human eye. Ever. They could try, but they can never do it. You can't. They can try so hard to replicate every part of our body. They can never do it.
Yeah, I don't think
to how we're organically made.
But I might have already said it here. I really think there was a psyop about getting our breast tissue from Angelina Jolie and her brachiovirus or whatever it was called. And the trans agenda on young girls, because they do everything like trendy. Like, I'm going to cut myself. I'm going to give myself a new haircut. I'm going to do this. I almost think breast tissue is so different than fat tissue because it rejuvenates. It doesn't get bigger and smaller. It can actually rejuvenate. And that seems like it would be an important thing, like your umbilical cord or your uterus or all that other. To me, it's trendy in science that they go through phases of like, they want everyone's wisdom teeth, they want everyone's gallbladder, they want everyone's kidney, they want everyone's pancreas. It just seems like either everybody's getting injured at the same time, or they're like, I wonder what kind of studies we can do on this. It just seems trendy to me.
Yeah.
Like some things just
the
like
amount of
ride
people
and
that are
wave.
still going missing, the amount of children that are going missing. It's like this organ trafficking. There's something big happening. We don't know. Maybe they're doing some kind of Frankenstein project and putting all these organs together and creating their own fucking type of fucking human. I don't know at this point. Or maybe they
Or
found
they've
the
just got
key
a lot
to.
of rich inbred families out there that are pumping out duds, and they just realize, well, we can just swap out whatever failed organs because of our
Yeah, and
weird
live
genetics.
forever.
We could just buy it from some like poor, Taiwanese kid that just got like snatched off a boat. I don't know how it all works,
Yeah.
but like essentially you could just always have that on tap so that you never really have to worry about these genetic issues that you're introducing, because you can just swap them out like Legos.
wasn't King Jong-un and Putin talking about they have the, I guess, elixir to living forever when they met up and on a hot mic they were talking about it.
I just
I
don't
feel like
believe it.
I
I
feel like
mean,
everyone just messes with the North Korean guy. Everyone's just like, yeah, we totally got it, bro. You're totally in the club, right? I think that he's
yeah,
kind
send
of
in Dennis Rodman. He'll
yeah.
think he's Michael Jordan. Like,
I
but
don't
I
know. I feel
also
like
think like, look at Putin. He's ugly as fuck. Either he's
yeah.
wearing a mask or has the worst plastic surgery. That's all these people like. They try to be like, oh, look at this Rothschild, ugly as fuck. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, he's 100 years old. He looks every bit of it. Like he doesn't look like he's drinking fucking adrenochrome. And so
Yeah.
it's like Queen Elizabeth looks old as fucking dirt. Looks old as fuck. She looks like a old mitt. Like
Maybe
so
it's
some
the
of the things
plasma.
like it would be
Tom
one thing
Hanks
like if they were
away.
like I don't know, if they were like Miley Cyrus is 100, then I would be like, okay, this has some weight. But you know, unless if the Queen was 1,000, then I'd be like, something's fucking wild
It
here.
looks every bit of it.
Maybe that's what the organs are used for, is to create these, I guess, combination of organs put together to create like a new type of like Miley Cyrus or a new Selena Gomez or a new like, for the future. They're
I
probably
honestly,
testing
I
some
think
weird
part of
shit
it
out.
is just so that on the back of Miley Cyrus's private jet or Taylor Swift, whatever, they could just have like 2 or 3 backup of every organ you can think of, like on
Just in
call,
case.
reserved for them, just in case. Always got a
Like a
spare,
freezer.
liver and a spare kidney.
And think of this too. Somebody goes missing and then like celebrity A, B, or C goes into rehab, but really they're just getting an organ transplant.
I mean, it happens. Remember with Selena Gomez and that whole girl in the freezer and her missing kidneys? And now
No,
there's this
wait,
whole
what? Is there
No.
why?
a theory about
Yeah.
Selena
So
Gomez has
some
been harvesting
Yeah, she
organs?
was found in the ice cooler. This girl apparently, and her kidneys were missing. And apparently, the same time, Selena Gomez had a kidney transplant because of her lupus. And now, apparently, kidney transplants last up to what, 15 years max. So you would need a new one after a while.
Mm,
So
I didn't know that.
apparently,
Oh
this
my gosh, I didn't know
girl
that
was
either. That's like a
actually
boob job.
murdered recently by this artist who actually made a song about killing his girlfriend, but she was found chopped up in the trunk of his car, but her freaking kidneys were missing, and everyone's like, oh my god, this might be a Selena Gomez type kind of situation, and it's time, hey, for her new kidneys. And she's been acting a little weird. People have been saying she looks weird, she speaks weird now, and everyone's like, oh, it's just the lupus. But there's just something weird, and this is me like playing in the conspiracy of it all because I don't know what's true or not. But
Every
it's
15,
just
let's just be clear. We're
it's
saying that every
crazy.
15 years, Selena Gomez has to
Kill
put a hit
someone.
out on someone so that they can take their kidneys and give it back to Selena Gomez. And
Let me
she's going to have
find.
to do this every 15 years forever.
Yeah, hold on.
Or she'll have to like put out a TikTok like 2 years before it's time to see if anyone like one of her super fans
Who
will
wants to go
donate.
to Disneyland Paris?
Yep. Who wants to be the one?
We'll bring you and your fam.
Kaneka Jenkins. Okay, that was the
Imagine
girl.
that though. Because what if
Yeah.
Britney Spears came out and she's like, "Hey y'all, I need a kidney, and if you can give me that kidney, like you can go on tour with me. Like not you personally, but the kidney will get to go on tour forever." And then
Well, we
like
just
at a
figured
certain
out why she
point,
was so against illegal immigration, or like all of them being deported, because she was kidney harvesting.
Yeah, so her name was Kanika Jenkins, and then the recent one, I forgot what his name was, but he's an artist, and apparently her kidneys went missing. But she was literally chopped up. They found her like in pieces, this girl. So wild. Ain't it wild that this fucking happens in actual reality? Like organ harvesting? What a world that we live in, that actually exists.
I feel like it has to exist. The only part of it that's weird is that it's so taboo that it doesn't even come up in the news. It doesn't come up at all, but it's universally acknowledged that it absolutely happens, and that the fact that it happens means that there's a network established just so that it can happen. So therefore, you can be a professional. Like, you can make your life career into doing this thing and catering to all this money that would come in. And so all those things are true, but it never really comes up in any like normal conversation. It's an accepted weird chaos that just always happens.
I feel like the only time that it really was like mainstream news was when the drug cartels were like people were going missing in Mexico and like missing organs and stuff, and they would talk about it then, and then you don't hear about it at all in the mainstream media anymore.
That's so wild. It's just wild that we live in a world that it's real. Like, this shouldn't be a real thing, but it's real, unfortunately.
Do you guys think it's true?
Chaney,
Like,
explain.
yeah, somebody probably just did that. It was probably all in my head, and somebody's just like, I need this spleen. Do you guys think it's real that like people? I just remember when I did lose my spleen explosion, as I call it. Like, and I also had to get blood transfusion. I woke up craving Cheerios with honey on them, like old 1960s Cheerios with honey on them. Like, I've never craved this in my life. And I probably ate it for 2 weeks. Like, it was all I could think about was cold milk Cheerios with honey on it. And then I was reading these things about when you get organs or a certain amount of blood from somebody, you can actually crave their shit. Like, you can take on them a little bit. And so I was thinking, like, am I taking on like energies of depression or anger or other things that you might have to transmute by getting that much blood from a stranger inside your body? And
People who got my blood sure are craving cinnamon rolls, I bet.
well, I was
That's
also
all I was
thinking
thinking about during the time.
like blood banks I think are fucking crazy. I think it's insane how they're always in a blood shortage. There'll be like 9/11 happens, and then some, like, every place in the countries are like, we're in a blood shortage too for 9/11. You're like, this blood ain't going to New York. Stop. No one, they never even found a body in 9/11. How long are you guys gonna raise? So, but I also was thinking, like, in our crazy way of however our bodies work, of like schizophrenics or people that take on other personalities, and there's been all the tests done of like they can play these different instruments or they can speak these other languages, or there's even studies of like one of their personalities has diabetes and the other one doesn't. Like, they completely change their like blood in the inside from their personalities in between. And then I was like watching that movie Split, how it's like the personalities, how they explain it, of each personality fighting to take the light. Like, they're all sitting in a room of chairs and they're fighting to take the light. And so I was like, in my own way of getting blood, it was like, you have this other personality kind of inside yourself fighting to take the light. Like, it's like a mild possession, if it's true.
Like, that is one of the biblical laws that like held from the Old Testament to the New Testament, is that you shouldn't consume the blood because it's a life force.
Interesting. And it goes back to how some of these trippers, like, what was his name? Belushi. He had an ayahuasca trip and he was talking about the different chakras and how the different entities of these beings were sitting on a table, and each one of them like would take possession of the chairman's table, like the seat that you're supposed to sit in, which is the light. So that's that same concept of like, where do jinn like house themselves in the chakras? So it's like whatever chakra is lit up, and if they're housed there, that's the personality that shows up. And maybe these people who have the split personalities know how to unlock it instantly and trigger their different points, probably. Because this is also tied to the whole testing in school with, the hearing test. What was that called? You guys know what I'm talking about.
GATE program?
Yeah, that program. The GATE program. There you go. That all ties to that, and the gifted and the multi-personalities. I just went down a rabbit hole.
I thought it was interesting to like in the multiple personality ways of the movie Split, not to make a total tangent of like that the youngest character that he plays, like the little kid self of him, he can always take the light whenever he wants. And that's the only reason that the two strongest personalities keep him around. Like, it's like they're the horde and they're all fighting for the light all the time. And two of them believe in the beast and the rest of them don't. And so it becomes this whole internal battle if you haven't seen this movie. But I just think it's like in your little kid mustard seed way, that thing can take the light whenever it wants. Like your little kid self that can create and believes that Santa's always going to come and that your dad's always going to be there at 5:30 p.m. Whatever little fantasy your little kid self lives in, that can always take the light. It made me like, okay, that's kind of, you should allow it sometimes to step in for your other personalities. Because I was watching this movie too, thinking like, shit, everybody's got those personalities. Like every single one of them. Miss Patricia, the anal guy who's like, let me clean that up. And then the beast, like, I'm like controlling the beast.
My neighbor, she'll be like, I'm on personality 5, and I'm on personality 4, and if I hit personality 5, it's going fucking down. And I'm like, she talks like that all the time.
I figured out something about myself in the last 2 weeks. I figured out words for it. And maybe it's from other people saying the words to me that I'm like, oh my gosh, that happens to me too. And it'll be like, my cat will start crawling across me. I'm writing an email real quick on my phone. An alarm goes off. Jules walks in. She starts asking me something. I get to this place where I am so overstimulated that I just snap. I've gotten so good at being like, I'm overstimmed right now. Like,
yeah, I go there too because I realize like it's a thing.
It was like a whole new thing for me the last 2 weeks of being like, whoa, I just unfrazzled my wire really quick by saying that. Like, dude, I was feeling like
I figured it out recently too. My kids know it too. Like, I'll just say I'm overstimulated, and they're like, they say it too.
I've gone through the same thing, but at work. Because it got so busy at one point that like I had like, imagine like 3 5-top sitting at your section at your bar all at once, and like before happy hour is over and everyone's trying to rush you to get everything in and they're being so impatient that I got so overstimulated that I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, I'm about to fucking lose it. I'm about to explode. And I was like, wait a minute. I think this is what overstimulation is. And I'm like, hey, Robin, I think I'm overstimulated. She's like, yes, you are. Go take a minute. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go take a minute. And it was just too much. Like it almost felt like but it was just people and noise and panic, and I don't know what the fuck that was, but then I caught myself, and now every time I panic or overstimulated, I just stop, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm overstimulated. Just give me a second.
Triggers is for me is like a tag in a shirt. It doesn't matter if it's on the side or on the back. Like if there's a tag in my shirt, then automatically I'm like on a certain level where I can't fucking take a whole lot. Like, 2 people are talking to me and I'm trying to do something and a cat is on my lap, I'm gonna fucking snap. And it's like, if I just didn't have a tag in my shirt, I'd probably be fucking fine.
Yeah. I also have a weird constriction thing. Like if I feel like something's tight, if I feel like the blanket's too tight, or a shirt or a seatbelt, or I'm sitting in or like, and I just need it off, I will ruin something that's very expensive in a moment of pure panic. Yeah. Like it would be a fine line between a straitjacket and open ocean.
my version of this is when I've got too much stuff in my pockets. It's like a weird thing that like there's a critical mass, and then it's like that's it. Everything's got to go. Like we're not. Like I'll carry my car keys and that's it. Like I'm not bringing anything else today.
What's the craziest thing you ever did in a moment of this? Like whether it was rage or whatever that you feel comfortable with saying online, that when like afterward, like 10 after like 10 minutes, you were like, oh shit, that was crazy.
Okay. For me, it was, in like 2 weeks ago, you wear your socks and then one of them is kind of loose, okay? And they're like short socks.
It happened yesterday.
And they keep keeps fucking slipping and slipping and slipping, and you pick it up and it slips And then I was like, you know what? I can't have one sock on and one sock off with my sneakers. So I took both of them off and wore my shoes without socks.
That's not that crazy.
I know, but like
I'm
still,
telling you this. Let me tell you the thing. One time after my dad died, I don't know why I kin it to this, and it was probably like 3 months after. It was in this area, but I just remember being such an emotional mess. And not just an emotional mess, something else happens when somebody dies where you kind of get away with bad behavior knowing you're getting away with bad behavior because you just lost somebody, and that everybody holds on such a pedestal. You have these certain few people that if you lose them, you know you're acting like a complete unbearable asshole, but you know you're allowed to get away with it. So you almost like you need to get this emotion out, and it can't all be tears. And so I was just sitting at my house somewhere, get overstimmed. I was sitting outside on the edge of a lawn chair, and I had a nice fucking computer, a nice laptop. It was like, I don't even know how much it was, but it was a nice laptop. It wasn't a shitty laptop, and it was only like a week old. I had to get this laptop because I had traveling and all these arrangements to make, whatever. And it just, I don't know what it kept doing. I don't know if it was an ad or something. It was only a week old laptop. I took this thing by the fucking corner and I went think, and I flicked it right into the pool. Like I flicked it into the pool. Like I just lit $1,600 on fire. Like I was and the only person it hurt was me. The only person, let me tell you guys, it gets the next level crazy. I sent it to the company. This is what I'm mad. Like I'm in a state. I sent it to the fucking company. I'm like, this doesn't fucking work. It fell into my fucking pool, but I paid all the insurance and everything for it. Fix it. I just thought they were going to total this thing out. They fixed it and sent it back to me. It made me so irritated that they sent this computer back to me fixed. I left this bitch in the box. I put my car in reverse. This is when I always have old muscle cars. Put my fucking car in reverse. I backed up over this computer and drove over it and over it and over it and over it. Literally.
Die, motherfucker.
Yeah, no reason why. The only one it hurt for was me. The one who had to replace it was me. It was like just this like fit of rage that every time sometimes I look back at it just like this and I'm like, what the hell? Like if I was watching.
Did you send it in again?
I did.
And you're like, fix it this time, you dumbass.
Yeah, I swear to you, I did send it in again. And I ended up like, let's say after they like sent me like a $500 check. Like
they're like, we don't want smoke with this lady. Whatever the hell she's going through, like just cut her the check.
Yeah, they sent me like a third of what the value of the computer was worth. But at this point, it was just like whatever.
So, man, what exactly is the problem with your computer? It's like, well, I threw it in the pool and then I ran over it.
Yeah, that was it. And it was probably like an easy ad that I could have just gone to Geek Squad and been like, can you take this off? It was just like I was not in a place to even think about it back then, and I was getting away with bad behavior. So that is my story of that I look back on occasionally out of like anger where I'm like, what an asshole.
That's what first time I did shit where
I just picture them watching me run over my computer, like one of them go out there, should we stop her? Just let her do it. Like, what an
I wasn't that extreme, but I like kicked shit all over my room and fucking was throwing stuff, and then I realized afterwards, like, you're such a dumbass. Like, all you did was break your shit. Like, but yeah, I've done that. But it wasn't overstimulation. I was just raged. So
my best example is that I punched my bedroom window out, and a huge shard of glass like fell out and then just like stuck directly into my arm, and I'm like staring at it, and it was the most acute form of instant feedback I've ever received in my life. It was like, oh, I did this thing and I'm immediately hurting and losing blood because of this, and now I have to go and it was exactly like what you're describing, Chaney, where it's like the only person it hurt was me. Like I had to pay to replace the window, and I had to go to the ER, and they had to like fish around the inside of my arm to make sure like glass hadn't broken off in there. And it was just like a split moment of like frustration and impatience. Essentially, I was trying to get in, and I had like locked myself out. And it wasn't a kid going, mom, but I might as well have been, because there was like a bunch of people with me, and it was just like, screw this, crash, ER.
I actually that would be mine too. I was overstimulated by my brother. He was being a fucking dick and like being loud when I'm trying to get my kids to bed and everything. And he was living with me at the time, and he locked his door. But then when I said something to him about keeping the sound down, he starts slamming his door on purpose, like being freaking an asshole. And I was just gonna cut his internet, except that my router was in his fucking room, so I freaking just punched through the fucking glass and cut the shit out of my hand. And then my son is like, I felt bad because he saw this whole thing happen, and he was like, "Mom, that was really stupid." I was like, "I
Yeah.
know, I shouldn't have done it. I hurt myself." And he goes, "No, now it's even louder." I was like,
What happened to me, I
fucking
remember
right.
I was a kid and my mom and dad were sleeping in the bedroom when, they're like, we're going to sleep. Okay, so they go to sleep and I have my brother and sister, and I'm like a kid. I'm like 6 years old, and my brother and sister are probably like 7 months old. So I take my sister and I'm like, like playing with my sister, and like I fling her up and then poof, like she falls out of my hands and falls flat on her face, and I drop my sister, and then like she's crying, and then my parents, they come out like fucking butt naked and like, what happened? I was like, oh, nothing. I hit my leg and she thought she got hurt, but no, I fucking dropped her like straight on her fucking face as a little kid. But I got away with it, thank God.
That is not you
Very
being
fucking caught in the act,
overstimulated.
naked.
No, I was
That is not you being
overstimulated because I
that
kind of
is
knew
just
like
your
what the fuck
parents
was
running
going
out
on over
naked.
there as a little kid, and I should have not known. And it was like, how do I distract my parents? Like I don't know what I was doing, but I knew that I was doing something because I knew that they were doing something. Like, what are you going to sleep for in the middle of the daytime? Like going to sleep. I can't believe I remember that. It just came into my head.
That would have been so
I'm 6 years
overstimulating.
old.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad I didn't have to
I don't
see
ever remember
that.
being overstimulated young. This is like something that I'm realizing. Maybe I just have words for it now, like just in the last 2 weeks, but I just look back at like being able to handle it, or like just not loosh myself, being able to change the channel. Not just be like, let me sit here and watch this show I hate.
I can't tell you, like
a
what I was
lot.
saying about the tags. Like this shirt I'm wearing right now has a freaking big old hole in the side, and I literally had just bought it, but I wore it one time,
And you just
fucking
ripped it
ripped the
right
tag
out.
out. And yeah, and I have like 4 shirts that are like literally they're brand new, and instead of just like I could feel it, and it was just driving me crazy already. I just rip it out and fucking make a hole in my shirt.
I feel you. I just want it.
It's so overstimulating.
I've seen a lot of shit in my childhood. So I was very
Like
stimulated as a kid. A lot.
I'm not that old yet. Not that old yet. Yeah. That's who it's called, menopause.
Did you know
It's funny
men
when
go
you say
through
not that old yet.
menopause?
Yeah,
And
not
it's
that
called
old yet.
andropause. And it starts at a very young age. It starts at 30. Men have their own menopause.
Yeah, men.
Andropause. I just
Darn
recently
angels.
just
I've never heard
discovered
this
You're
before right
hormonal
now.
fucking beasts.
Mhm.
I have never heard this word before.
Is this when their
Andropause.
testosterone
Google
starts
it.
to drip?
Is this when you
Drop.
start wanting to get like a coop?
Yeah. Their cell count of like their sperm count drops. They start getting cranky and emotional and yada yada yada, all the things that women, but later on in life, okay, but men start earlier around their
Is when they
30s.
start chasing their own tails.
I have a.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like
Andropause.
a, we all say like alcohol and it's spirits, alcohol, blah 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 blah. Do you think there's ever a good time for a low vibe thing like alcohol, especially for overstimulation? Like if you work in a job that you're super stimulated all day, like overstimulated, those are the professions that usually need some sort of stimulation to come down
Vodka.
from that. Like
Well, the
Yeah.
military has go-go pills and no-go pills. So like go-go pills up until the early 2000s, methamphetamine was like you could get a prescription for straight up methamphetamine in the military, depending on what kind of thing you're doing. A lot of this would apply to like jet pilots or something. But then they also have no-go pills, which are pills that help you restore. And I think like Ambien counts as one of those. There's like 2 or 3 of them. So like there are legitimate uses for both being stimulated and understimulated. An example that maybe maybe I'm just too bought into the Rockefeller like pharmaceutical industry, but freaking Xanax, man, if I know I'm gonna be in a situation where I'm gonna be overstimulated for sure, like 100%, and I could just take a small amount of Xanax, I'll be in that situation. I'll literally know the exact moment. I'll be like, this is a moment that I would normally be overstimulated in, but for whatever, like, I don't know what the difference is, what that delta is, but it's like, but I'm not. Like, I'm fine. There's a kid screaming, and there's like a ticking clock, and they just changed the gate of my airplane from here to here, and I got to rush over there. But you know what? Like, I'm not freaking out over it. I understand that the overstimulation, like all these stimuli are firing, but I'm able to just kind of like observe them.
Chill.
Like I'm not even
Yeah.
in myself. Like I'm watching it happen to someone else, and I can completely respond that way.
When I was in chemo, they gave me antidepressant, and I don't remember what antidepressant it was. So don't do anything that I say to do, depending on what your antidepressant is. But in the same way, I was like, holy shit. Like I could really, after like 3 weeks, they said you'll start, feeling different after 3 weeks. I didn't feel like I needed it at all by the time they gave it to me and by the time they set it in. Like I had already mentally understood exactly what was happening, but there was a period of time in between. Like they should have given it to me in the hospital. It might have been nice for my mental. It was like by the time it set in, it just made me in this numb place that I was very aware I was numb, where I could tell things that might annoy me before or might make me really happy before. But instead, I just kind of was like, meh. And then I inadvertently quit them cold turkey. I meant to wean off of them, but then I forgot to take them on the wean. Like you were supposed to do it in a certain way, and I forgot to do it in that way. And then enough days had passed, I was like, I'm just going to quit. I didn't know it was such a big deal to quit these things cold turkey. And
it's only a big deal if you make it a big deal.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it. And like, I didn't realize all the physical, actual side effects that could be bad for your human body in it. But I do feel like that way of just being like triggered. There was like 2 weeks where it was like akin to being like, this is the worst PMS I've ever had. Like I'm going to tear it was like quitting cigarettes. It was like that kind of like, I don't know why I'm so angry right now.
Like it hurts my stomach.
That was rough. Quitting cigarettes is always hard.
It's always hard. I can't
quit. I don't want to quit.
I want to smoke cigarettes when I'm 80. Like for my 80th birthday, I want everyone to get me cigarettes, and I want to start smoking cigarettes.
Like a Mary Kate after party.
Like, hey, smoke them if you got them.
Do you have schizophrenia or dementia in your family? Because if so, there is research that says that you can probably smoke cigarettes and you won't die of cancer.
Well, there's probably a thing. Europe is definitely
if you're crazy, then you can smoke cigarettes. But if you're not crazy, then you probably shouldn't.
You meet people that are a certain.
How do you define crazy today?
Like an actual, well, in this particular case, an actual schizophrenia or dementia diagnosis of some kind. It can't just be you make bad decisions or that you're irrational. Like it's specifically your mind has to deteriorate.
Speaking of mind deterioration, I was thinking, Thomas and I were talking about it, about like the merch bags, or about that maybe would there be cool stuff that you would want to see if we did the comic? Do you guys have any ideas for Real Housewives? Like hard shift to the left. But I want you to think about it, even if not right now, or the audience, if you guys come up with any ideas. Go on.
Well, here's the example too, where this comes from is that, and I'll pull up some of the images. Maybe we can show off some of the. But like one of the things is that Chaney's character sheet, all of the different character sheets right now have like a little token or like a little accessory, and there's a pose where you're using a phone. And the artist was asking, what does the phone case look like? And that was like a great example of, well, I mean, it's not that hard to make an actual phone case. So if we could actually put some thought and intent into it now of, hey, here's what the phone case should look like, because this is what a dope phone case might look like. And we could actually have the real phone case made. And then you suggested, well, screw the phone case. Maybe there's like a phone accessory thing. And that's just kind of what I'm trying to figure out is within the entire scope of this project, what are like the cool extra little things that people would actually want, like the readers will want, but that could also be inside the comics. So there's like a two-way communication happening even through like the merch channel.
So it's like we could do a phone case, but phone cases, none of us in this room even have the same phone. So we have to do so many kinds of
That'd
phone
be a lot.
cases. Whereas a phone ring, if she had like one of those ring accessories on the back of her phone, that might be something that everybody
or phone
could have.
charms.
Have you
They
have you
like
seen
phone
little
charms.
animals that like stick up over your phone too?
Yeah, like something like this, but it just would have to. So each one of the characters have these kind of styles and little accessories of their own. But if you're a person who also knows like Paranoid American's other stuff that he's done, or like how Donut did the Illuminati comic, they had like different tiers that you could. Whoop.
So this is it so far. I mean, this is the unshaded version, so it doesn't have any of the shading and the highlights. But this is basically Chaney's character and the cat, which is the ghost of Brittany Murphy. And this was the phone in question, right? Right now it's just a standard black and white or like black phone. But any of this, like the glasses, the bandana.
Well,
the
Chaney,
wrist
does your character touch her gauges and stuff like Gem and the holograms like you were talking about? Because if so, you could do like.
We could make her touch her gauges because she's not wearing a necklace, but we were gonna just have her phone be that. But she could have some kind of crystal in there or something. But this is kind of her shtick.
There's a couple different thoughts on this. So like the glasses could be AR or They Live style. It could be the gauges that enact something, and then it could even be like eyeliners. Maybe there's like nanobot eyeliner that all do the exact same thing. They can project holograms and do like an AR sort of thing.
But yeah. So anyone, especially
socks.
if you're,
You gotta do the socks.
Yeah, are there any the socks we just kind of ran with an option that came up. They're kind of like ska socks. And which is funny enough is exactly the same pattern on Chaney's head right now. So maybe these were the right pattern.
I'm a sock person, so
it's funny.
I know it's kind of rando and it's kind of weird how out of all the hats I have like that I could have worn tonight. But I'm excited, and I hope that when we get everything set up that you guys are excited too. And really the people that hang out with us every single week, we want you guys to have some kind of input in it. So if you think of anything that you would like or want, shout out to Thomas or I, and we will see what we can do. And yeah. What else is going on?
Keychain idea too. I like keychains.
I like keychains.
Apparently I also got an update with the Betty White character. But I don't think it's safe to show on stream.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
Is it naked?
You got boobies?
I mean, it's got something. It's got like vril boobs with like eyes, but just the way that it's drawn, it basically is a naked semi-octopus Betty White.
I think we do it. What does the chat think? It'll take them a minute to answer.
I mean, you can see it, right? If I request to share screen, you can see what I'm about to show, right? Or do you
it just comes up with a bar. But this is what I've noticed about YouTube of lately. They'll either take it down and they'll tell me I can edit out the part. And so if you notice that there's a skip from what we're saying now to another part, it's because YouTube maybe cut out
we're doing it.
Vril
It's
Betty
not,
White.
It's not that salacious, but here we go.
All right,
make it big.
Like it literally just came in as we were talking, and this is a real rough rough.
It seems like it has nipples.
But yeah, and you can tell that she's sort of vril-ish because the way that the vril expresses itself in the Vril Housewives is that the Vril is actually like this like Cthulhu Lovecraftian abyss type entity. And then when it wants to interact in the physical realm, you'll just kind of see tentacles come out of a wall or out of the ground and start to form into like an actual person. So here's the Betty White version of the Vril slowly manifesting in reality.
Yeah, it's not that bad for Secret
It's
Society.
honestly
Good
not that
guys.
bad, but I wouldn't just immediately throw this up on a stream unprompted either.
I think it was a ladies' night, Thomas, and like we were showing some random video. I don't know if it was Britney Spears or something, and then like all of a sudden it was like this lady's big old tits were like flashed
Yeah,
on.
I don't remember what totally different thing we were looking at, and then it was like, oh,
Not that one.
oh
I remember you
shit.
saying something like that. I didn't mean to involve that one.
Yeah, shit. Do you guys have anything else fun going on this week?
No.
No, I do not. Nothing fun.
You gonna be on any shows? You gonna do any interviews?
No, but I think we want to start
Who
our
wants to interview me?
ladies' night again.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't.
We
I
wanna
want.
do
I
like a
totally want to
bi-weekly
do
thing.
it so bad. And my month of October is so crammed full of shit. I'm like, I have to figure out how to. My time is so wild right now.
Same.
So yeah, if you're in the Vegas area, I might be out there for a little while. Maybe we can hang out. I might be out there longer than I think I'm going to be out there, like
When?
2 weeks. The end of the month. So
Ooh.
I'm not really looking forward to it. I don't think I'm a Vegas girl.
I'm not either. I'm a Reno girl. I'm from northern Nevada, so I'm not a
Yeah,
Vegas girl.
like I'm an island girl.
We're distinct.
Or I'm a mountain girl. I'm wondering,
Mhm.
but I'm like Vegas. No, I don't know. But it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing some of my internet friends in real life out there, and it will be. It'll be simulation breaking, where I'm like, I cannot believe this is real life. So why not? So, anyways, if you're listening to this right now, hit me up somewhere. Good luck, because I'm horrible at checking my DMs. If I haven't gotten back to you, don't take it personally. I haven't opened any of them. I get anxiety by it.
Vegas.
And actually, you guys go follow Layla on TikTok because she's got the bigger account, and we might actually go live or something and talk about bullshit. So that is something that we might do this week.
Oh yeah, you should
That would
totally
be
do
awesome.
that.
I actually
Yeah.
just got unbanned on TikTok like today.
You want to go live with us?
Reposting. I'm down. Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
That'll be cool. Get a different kind of like
Jeez,
following
that
to come
TikTok.
along.
You could do
even
like a
though
little
it's like,
mini Secret
oh.
Society of Good Guys TikTok edition.
I don't think I have a TikTok. I don't think I.
Well, here's your
'Cause
sign.
you were like on Project Chaney 7.
Well,
You're,
yeah,
you're on
I
Truth
got bored.
Social instead of TikTok.
Yeah, I never lost my True Social. Well, I got in trouble one time on True Social, but TikTok,
I got kicked off Parlor.
Oh, I remember Parlor.
That's wild.
Yeah, TikTok, I'm never allowed. But if you guys are gonna go live on TikTok, you should hit up Zinni and invite her.
Doesn't
in here.
Netanyahu want to buy TikTok? Doesn't he want to buy YouTube? Doesn't he want to make a deal with Elon and like buy X? And like,
I think
there's
it's
like
kind of
this
funny
whole
that we're
propaganda
pretending
deal.
like that it's not already. It's like, oh, what you're telling me is the Mossad wants to buy the CIA's fucking DARPA tools. Give me a break. It just feels like
Well, the story
Well-
is planted to make you think, oh, he doesn't already own it. Like if he wants to buy
Yeah.
it, then that means he doesn't already own it.
But there's going to be an incentive now. So if you like start to post Israeli propaganda, they'll start paying you $7,000 per video.
Wait, how
So-
much?
yeah,
$7,000.
I mean, I've always loved Israel. Let me just put that on the table. I've
I
loved
know.
Israel.
Maybe
If anyone wants to
let me
contact me to
unblock that
promote it.
dude.
Just
Maybe
have,
he's
like-
onto something.
Weird like messaging in the background that says the other way
You can get
around, but like
Sponsored by Starbucks and everything. I mean, yeah.
Circle
Yeah,
the
I'm
Secret
telling you.
Society of Good Guys on TikTok. We all have Israeli flags behind us.
yeah, they're gonna be pushing a lot of shit, especially on TikTok. Like for sure, it's already happening.
It's kind of funny too, because one of the things about TikTok is that it was always a Chinese spy device through Taiwan. And so then it's like, oh no, Israel is going to spy on us. And then it's like, but I don't know. It's just so funny. Like, I don't know. Like, it just feels like boogeymen at certain phases. And
well, Ben Shapiro even was talking about how they should change the Constitution so they can allow whatever the fuck his name is, to actually run for presidency.
BB. I call him BB. But I think he is from America.
I don't give a damn.
Even though they say, I think he is like from Ohio Pennsylvania or something. I think he even went to college in America.
Well, I mean, we've already had a Kenyan president, so.
We have an American Pope, American Prime Minister, an American princess. What about if it's us? What about if it's us? We're the problem and we don't know it.
Are we infiltrating?
I'm a queen.
Are we infiltrating?
I'm the original queen.
Or the Germans.
The United Kingdom. That's it. You're a king, you're a queen, you're a queen. We all are.
Like Paris Hilton.
Us is like a chaotic neutral, like Americans in general. Like we're a chaotic neutral, so it means that we actually have a unique way to either decide if you want to be like for or against something. But we're kind of like disruptors by nature, even if you don't want to be. Like just by status quo, you're kind of a disruptor.
We made Layla and I, because we talk about it on the show all the time, and we harassed Abbie and made her watch Childhood's End this week.
Yes, I did it.
And it came up in a conversation that we were all in a text thread, and we were texting, and I don't know why, you guys, sometimes I feel like smart on things, and sometimes I feel like the last of the party. This is one of the times I felt last of the party on it, where I was like, holy shit, because everything just feels to me like Jewish martyrdom propaganda. That's what I feel about everything. Everything just seems like we hate the Jews. We're the victims. We hate the Jews. We're the victims. That's what everything feels like to me all the time. And so I was like, oh, the red heifers thing I always think is such bullshit because it doesn't fit them. Like, it's like this ritual. Like, I just think it's bullshit, but they don't believe their Messiah's come yet. So their Messiah will come when they are the martyrs and the rest of the world's against them. So then they've been trying to kind of force the hand of the rest of the world being against them. So they are pushing the propaganda that they're the ones that do all the bad things. So the world will turn against them. So they will be the martyrs of the world and their Messiah will come and save them. And then I was like, their Messiah gets out of a fucking spaceship and looks like Krellin. And that's what I said on this thing. And so it was a Childhood's End conversation if you haven't seen this. And so we had to make Abbie watch Childhood's End. And so if you haven't seen it, I'm going to pull up the picture right now of Krellin.
Dude, the funny thing is I even wrote it down. Like, I take notes while we're talking. So if I want to say something, like, I remember to go back to it. And I'd even written it down the last time we podcasted. Watch Childhood's End. And I was like, I've written it down in my books like probably 30 times already. But yes, finally I watched it.
And so I'm going to say, if you haven't seen Childhood's End, it's peace on Earth. Like, all of a sudden this alien spaceship comes over Earth and it's peace on Earth. All the sickness is healed. You can't even shoot somebody with a gun. Like, everything's good. And they live like this for a few decades of the world just being like a dreamy heaven on earth place. The kids get so enlightened. They start speaking to each other. Like, everything's telepathy. They don't even need words anymore. And then finally, Krellin, who he talks to them, they can all hear Krellin all the time. He's like, I'm going to come down and I'm going to show myself to you. So they build this huge Colosseum so Krellin can come into the Colosseum, and they can do it on live feeds all over the world. And he walks out of the fucking spaceship, and this is what he looks like.
He looks like
the Baphomet.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what the fuck?
Dude, he comes out of that fucking spaceship with a female child and a male child, one on each arm, just like the Baphomet.
Is that little Nas X?
I don't know.
Well, I
It's
watched
just
this
Yeah,
when
it does look like it, doesn't it?
I watched this as soon as like everything shut down. No one knew what was going on, and everyone was in that state of like, oh my god, is this actually real? Like the whole world shut down, and it's like watching this and like being so like watching the end and how everything. I don't want to give it away. But you saw the ending, like that put me into tears, and it made me. Oh my god, it looks like a. Never mind. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm not gonna say too much.
yeah. So I don't know. I just think, isn't there a meteor or something on its way here right now that they are like, it's a spaceship?
AI Atlas. Well, I posted something very interesting about that and how it coincides with this. What was it called?
October supermoon.
Well, it connects to E-Bomb's World. I posted it.
So here's the
It's on my Instagram. And it ties to this whole idea of, hold on, let me find out. Give me 1 second. To this book. Atlas Shrugged. And it's about like how this meteorite or whatever decided last minute to like change its path, like from hitting Earth, and then decide, oh, never mind, let me not go there. So it's like this whole idea, like Atlas Shrugged and Three-Eye Atlas, and like this whole idea of like E-Bomb's World in that video, that when the world ends, this whole meteorite will come by, but then last minute, never mind, I'm just going to pass right by, and causing fear on Earth. So it's like that whole idea of like just them pushing fear into humanity with Three-Eye Atlas. That's what the book talks about, and it's like coincides with it.
So a comet known as Three-Eyed Atlas will hurtle within 18 million miles of the red planet, its closest approach during its trek through the inner solar system. Its breakneck speed, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like there's 2 comets coming toward us and like one of them's going to be here in October and one of them's going to be here at Christmas. But who knows? Who knows what they're setting up? Do we have anything else we have to talk about now that I went into the Krillin conversation? Sometimes, like throwing my computer in the pool, I say weird stuff on here, and I'm like, like the whole thing of it, I'm like, could that have been worded better? Maybe. Will it probably get me in trouble later? Probably. It's just kind of funny.
That's the whole point of this show, I thought.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. Like
to
do
it on accident as opposed to coming in like shock jock and trying to like, be intentionally crude or intentionally offensive. It's better when it just like happens unintentionally.
I agree.
Yeah, it's more fun that way. I like Layla's gold guns underneath her God Pill Angel.
Yeah, put that up. I didn't know until recently I could do that. I was like, oh, AK gold guns.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I know there's other stuff to talk about.
I'm sure. I don't
even know.
Government shutdowns, and I hear everybody arguing about Charlie Kirk. Everybody, like every room I go in, they're arguing, and I just think we're in this crazy place too, where it's like, I don't know how much of the information I find is real. You don't know how much of the information you find is real. And so then we're like arguing with things weird. That then a fourth person's in the room arguing that neither of our information's real. And then I hear these people like talking, like they'll be like, there was a trap door in the floor. And then like in their same combo, they'll be like, the shot came from 200 whatever away. It's like even their brain it's like misfiring, and I'm listening to
fishing.
People.
It's a lot of it's just like
I'm
fishing
not
around.
Worried about that now. Like how she's acting, how she acted on that podcast is like mind blowing to me. Like when you lose somebody, yes, everyone grieves differently, but to be all smiles and like giddy and like this was such a good thing. Like Honeypot, she was in it.
Or a beard. Just throwing it out there. That's how a beard would act.
Yeah. Honestly.
Or her in the way of like, in the pendulum swing of our Republican weird Democrat world that they always put us in. It's like in the liberal side, they gave us this trans agenda, blue hair craziness. And then at the other side, there is, no matter how much like Republican people don't want to hear this, on the other side of that, what scares the shit out of everybody's Handmaid's Tale. And so you might not see Trump in that Handmaid's Tale, but I'm telling you, Pence was in that Handmaid's Tale. I'm telling you, DeSantis is in that Handmaid's Tale. And I'm telling you, a girl like this wife, this Charlie Kirk wife, where Kirk, the name Kirk means church. So it's like this church wife that she is, and then Captain Kirk happens to like go into the hospital around the same time. And like, I just think it's crazy. But
yeah, we were talking about
she's
that
set up in that Handmaid's Tale to be almost like the blonde wife, head wife bitch on Handmaid's Tale that wears the blue outfit. She's set up for that. Yeah, like that's scary to me. More scarier, as scary as a drag queen.
And then Captain Kirk being in the hospital and stuff, like it kind of like made me think Kirk also like Kirk Cameron, and it's kind of weird that he's like the huge spokesperson for the fucking church and has been for quite some time now. So, but Kirk Cameron on, so church Cameron on, like where did the simulation come up with these?
No, but even in the Kirk Cameron of it all, for like rewind back to like Kirk Cameron on Growing Pains, he was like the biggest heartthrob at the time. Like even though
cute,
Leonardo DiCaprio was on the show with him, Kirk Cameron was way bigger of a heartthrob than Leo. And so he's this like whatever, he probably was a gay kid and needed a beard, but he gets with this older girl. Her name's Chelsea Noble. And so she becomes akin to the same as Justin Bieber with Hailey Bieber.
Yeah.
It's almost like she comes and she mega churches Kirk Cameron, and then he walks away from Hollywood. You never see anything from him again until the Leftover movies. And it is funny that his name is also Church.
Leftover.
Leftovers. That was another show on HBO, I think, that was a similar premise, The Leftovers. But yeah, Left Behind series.
Well, there's a whole other generation too that knows Kirk Cameron as the banana guy, the one that
he talks about
it
being the perfect shape for your hand and all that it's designed, that it's
but
not.
He opens
like
it the wrong way. I have to throw that out too. He opens the he opens the banana backwards. So
I open them upside down every time. I always open them that way.
You got to open it from the butt.
Yeah, that's how I open it.
Wait. Yes, you have to pinch it at the top. That's how monkeys open it. That's the only reason why we think it's the right way is because that's how monkeys open it.
I just like to do it because the tab always freaking doesn't always work right.
No,
so
it smushes
like,
the top of the banana 105%
exactly.
of the time.
And then you get the little black thing out when you open it upside down, that little black spike thing.
Half our audience right now, we're teaching them something, and they're like, holy shit, I've been opening a banana wrong forever, grabbing it by the stem.
Like, oh my God, God is real. Kirk Cameron's right.
He's right.
Well, this is a part of The Leftovers and that whole philosophy of like, let's say God comes, let's say there's a rapture. And this is like something that it's like, holy shit, like that childhood Zen makes you think of a little bit. If there's a rapture, everybody assumes like, oh, Chaney's going to be a better Christian than Abbie and she's going to get to go up to heaven. What about if it's just the kids? And what if the Great Reset is this happening? And if we lose the kids, how quickly we die out, because if you can't breed anymore, there's not enough breeders to a certain age that can keep up with, it's like how quickly we would go through a big hiccup where we'd almost have to go through another industrial revolution.
And that's one of the things with the idea of the rapture is that children automatically would be taken, like up to the a lot of Christians believe in an age of accountability. So like there's a certain age or maturity where a kid is accountable for their own soul and they have to accept Jesus Christ to go to heaven and to be raptured. But like they think that under that age, every child, like infants and even in the womb, would go up into the rapture. And so it'd be huge devastation on earth. So even just like childhood's end, even though it's not necessarily religious, it's like the same idea though, that the kids would disappear.
I'm so sorry to hard derail. What about if our power bottom shirt has a banana upside down? Like
Yeah,
a banana
I like
opened from
it.
the right way and it just says power bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that a power top? No, power top. Power top with the banana.
Yeah, power top. There we go.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
power
we were
top.
talking power top, not power bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no one.
yeah. Honestly, because if you accidentally find yourself wearing a power top shirt, you're not really causing that much of a ruckus. But if you
Yeah.
accidentally start wearing a power bottom shirt around and you don't realize what you've done, you'd probably
You
attract.
might be in trouble.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, you guys.
be in trouble.
That should be our New Year's resolutions for 2026. Like when people are like, "What's your New Year's resolution for 2026?" I'm going
A
to try to
power
be
bottom.
a better power bottom this year. Like I think my wife would appreciate it. Like I've been really the top in our relationship the whole time. I'm going to really work on my power, but just say it to everyday people. Like, I think I'm going to be a power bottom this year. Like I'm really going to work on it. Rosebud. Sorry, that was too far. That was a step too far.
No, it wasn't.
I just want to say, what if the
Pussy
rapture
tight.
comes and it's not about the judgment of your character, but if you've been opening bananas the right way your whole life or not? Because God would be like, I did this whole thing and you're not even doing it the right way.
You're not even smart enough to figure it out.
What about if it happened during this show?
Mm.
But everybody watching it
See,
and us, we didn't
guys.
even realize it. Yeah, just Abbie leaves. Nothing changes about the audience. All of us are here, so we don't even know the rapture happens. Like I'm like seeing blue lights out my window, but not really paying attention. Just Abbie disappears. We're like, what the hell? That bitch has been been getting calories for a minute now. I thought her camera glitched. Just Layla and her house disappears. That would be the greatest thing ever. We just see her fucking family freaking out, running through the room, and just Layla's gone. We'd like
Where'd
it.
she go?
Yeah, it'd be worth it. We'd be like, the rapture happened, and they only took Layla.
That's right. 'Cause
telling you,
she
that's
eats
one
the
of
hot deeds. Good job.
the funniest movies I've ever watched. It was like it's supposed to be kind of like a mockumentary, but it was a day without it's not a mockumentary, but it's a day without a Mexican is what it's called, and all the Mexicans in like LA County like get raptured, and it's great. You guys should watch it.
Dude, they're coming out with a movie of this nun who gets pregnant, okay, without any intercourse, almost like making fun of a mockery of Mary. And they're pricing the tickets for $6.66. And that girl who played, or that blue jeans commercial, what's her name? That blonde, that hot ass blonde.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
the
her.
SS.
She plays the nun in that movie, and it's like a mockery of Mary. And
The
they have
ol'
like
SS.
her name in an upside down cross and the positive sign on the pregnancy test with a cross on it. She's saying that she's positive and that she's gonna birth a savior, but not really. It's not the savior, but the Antichrist, I'm guessing. But yeah, they're making a mockery of Mary. They're making a mockery of Jesus.
Well, just think
And, you
about
know-
it. In the movie of our lives that we're really watching in real life right now, one whole religion thinks their savior's coming back. Another whole religion thinks it's their savior. And in between, there's a false messiah. So the one religion that thinks their savior's coming back, there's a false messiah that will be here first and act like he's the real one, where the other religions, like, that could be our real one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wild what they have going on for us right now. And then they're like, here's some comets and aliens thrown in. Don't read the hot
Could
deeds.
just be an alien. Come
What I
on,
noticed
here's
even more
Tibet.
though,
Rocky.
this is how I know it's like such BS, because people don't know where to turn to when they have fear in them. So automatically they'll turn to a religion. It's like a fear-based control. It's like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And all of a sudden, like, they become religiously like psyoped,
Fervent,
and they
yeah.
become religiously fanatic and religiously like in a religious psychosis, and they believe like that's it, the world is going to end. You know how many lifetime I've lived, like 3 world endings that were supposed to happen, or at least 4 that were supposed to happen in my lifetime that didn't happen. And it's just like it really got to stop. And it's like every time Like, you see these people that are filled with fear, automatic religion. That's it. It's going to save them. And it's great if it helps, but it's like that's the first place that they turn to is
But
that.
this
Isn't
is
it
the
weird?
I
Go
found
on.
because I had the same thing, you know,
Mhm.
I found religion on accident, but I mean, it was a lot of it was fear-based too, like just seeing what was happening in the world and all that. But what I started to realize is that at first it did give me comfort, but then you get to this point where like, oh, wait a second, uh, say the rapture is going to happen, the end of the world is going to happen. Now, all the people that I love aren't saved. Like, so now I'm fucking afraid. My kids are approaching the age of accountability. They're not going to be raptured. What am I going to do if my kids are here alone? Oh my God, they're not going to be saved. Like, so then you're not even really content with your own fucking salvation. You're like, you literally worried about fucking your kid's soul and shit like that. Like, so bad that you can't even take comfort in the fact that you have a relationship with your creator.
But I mean, once you're actually like in salvation, you don't care anymore. I'd assume.
I
Like
mean,
whether or not your kids make it, if you do make it, by the time you're actually there, you probably don't care about things that didn't happen.
right, but wrap that around your human mind, though. You know, in the meantime, like, think I don't care
Like,
about you guys? You know, like, it's
I mean, it
silly.
gets so deep that like you'll have parents kill their own children and then themselves
Yeah,
just so like the kids will die innocent so they can go to heaven, and the parents are like, you know what, I'll go to hell
yeah.
just so my kids can go to heaven. And it's just like
What if that
that deep of a
mentality is the
fear.
philosophy of like what we would consider dark, dark, dark arts? Those people that are like human trafficking, they feel like they're killing the innocent to make sure they go to heaven.
That's wild, bro.
That's so wild.
And I think
Like that's
some do
so
that.
wild. I think you're right.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
that. Mhm.
We're in a crazy place, dude. And you
Dude,
can
it's
almost
so
for real,
wild.
anyone out there, you could just come up with your own crazy shit and write it down. And just as long as one person follows you, like you're just crazy until you get one follower. And then the
Yeah.
second follower, you become a cult. And then if
Yeah.
you do the
Mhm.
cult long enough, you become a religion. It's like
Mhm.
you probably are only going to start a cult, but the second person that takes over after you will have the religion.
But religions don't work unless you have fear.
They only work with fear, every single
Yeah,
one of them.
every single one of them.
But that's where like a lot of narcissism is born too. It's like, oh, you know, in religion it says you're supposed to forgive me and blah blah blah. So I did this, but yeah, if you forgive me, God forgives me. And it's like a lot of fucking shit is allowed because religion, especially against the woman. It's like, oh, you can't be mad at your husband. Oh, you can't stop from having sex. Or you can't da, 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 da. It's like, what? You fucking narcissist? What?
I think
I
you know what
can't
I always
deal
thought
with
was
it.
crazy. You could just like, let's say Thomas does everything right his whole life. He never lies. He never steals. He never does anything. He never fornicates. He does everything by the book. He does that. Then there's Ted Bundy on the other side, and Ted Bundy can just right at the before the gas chamber can be like,
I
Jesus
found
Christ, be
Christ.
my savior.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same,
God
same,
forgive
same.
me.
I think that's such bullshit.
Oh, I hope not. I mean, I put my years in the Roman Catholic Church so that I've got the privilege to do that. You got to
Oh,
get
you're baptized.
you
You're
got to get
fine.
last
You're going to
rites,
heaven.
and you got to say you're sorry before you
Yeah.
die, and then everything else you're fine.
And
See,
baptism too, right? Like,
And
you gotta
baptism,
have that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's granted. You got to be baptized. Yeah.
Yeah.
you see, that's why I don't like that. I don't like that idea. It's like, oh, I killed someone. Oh, let me go and like, you know, confess my sins and oh, God forgives me. It's like, but then you still go and do the thing. Like you'll continue to do the thing that you're asking God for forgiveness for, but you continue to do the
I
same
mean,
fucking
the
thing.
only other rational alternative in my mind is that you're just God expressing himself. So if you are out there killing people, that's just like that's the like thought of God of like, man, what if I just like killed people? Like that's his thought being expressed through you as a physical manifestation. So
That's
even
what I
then,
that's what I believe. That's why I
Well,
think that
yeah.
bad things happen and stuff too. You're just like every person is God experiencing himself, forgetting that he is the all.
I mean, didn't he flood the entire earth and like killed everybody
maybe he
supposedly?
just wanted to know what it felt like to drown, though, right?
was like,
It's so
Or almost
wild.
drowned.
shit, something wasn't right. I gotta start it all over. Like, maybe it wasn't even the bloodlines. He just didn't like the
It's just an
board.
etch a
It's like,
sketch. That's
yeah,
basically what it was, right?
yeah.
What if
It's
he
like,
never did it? What about like if there was a certain firmament and then somebody else did it? Like, you know, the Enki Enlil, where it's like, oh, there was like 2 beans. I don't know.
yeah.
Where one of them flooded it and the other one was like, dang, that was a step too far. That's what even
You
the
didn't
some
have
of
to
the
turn it all the way up, motherfucker.
yeah, like even some of the Roman gods in those stories, like some of them are all like, we're whatever with people, and some of them are like, we hate people, and then some of them are like, whoa, you guys took that a step too far.
Mhm.
Like you guys are doing a lot with those humans, and it's kind of wild. I don't know. Anyways, do you guys have anything you want to plug before we fly out of here?
No.
Follow
But
everyone
I
on
love our
TikTok.
chat.
Let's do TikTok this week.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
do
gonna
it.
go live on TikTok.
Follow everybody on
Wednesday?
TikTok.
Sure.
Wednesday? Yeah. Sometime on Wednesday night.
That sounds Wednesday, yeah.
I don't have a TikTok, so I'm gonna have to get one beforehand.
Whoop, whoop.
If
That'll be
I
fine.
am gonna have to get one beforehand, don't I have to get like 100 followers or something so I can go
1,000.
live?
I think it's
my
1,000.
I
God.
don't think I have 1,000 and I can go live. It keeps trying to tell me to go live.
We
all the
gotta.
time.
Well, that's exactly why we need
Oh,
people
it's
right now.
500
because of the
probably then.
numbers.
They probably lowered it to 500.
I don't have 500. I have 467. So
Huh.
I don't know.
Right there, chat could actually do it right now and put you over at the edge.
Go follow Abbie.
Yeah, if any of you have a
Abstract one.
TikTok, go follow Abbie. Go follow everyone.
Yeah, I can already go live though. That's the crazy thing. I'm like,
They won't let me monetize because I've got too many posts that have been like removed for community standards, whatever. But bro, they've been milking the hell out of a Britney Spears post I did, and like a random Amanda Bynes weird AI where like she's hugging her old it was just like some brain rot crap. I was like, TikTok will love this. And I've seen them monetizing the hell out of it, but I can't monetize any of it. But it just hit like 12 million views this week, which is just insane. Like TikTok
That is insane.
making a killing.
As long as they
Damn.
don't take it down and they leave it up, sometimes even if you're like, okay, I can't monetize this, but they leave it on your page so people can still find your other shit. It's like, okay,
That's
shade
how
on
I'm
that.
seeing it. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
doing
that's
with TikTok
cool.
right now.
They would just always take
I've been tricking
video, then take my account.
I've been tricking the algorithm. Like one day I'll post like, I don't know, some random shit like a trend. Or one day, like recently, I posted like the TISM spoon talk. Like, what is your perfect spoon? Because I have like my perfect spoon. And just so like I can like get off the algorithm that I'm set on, like I'll go on to the most weirdest fucking algorithm and like play along with that. Or like I'll go on Balkan Talk, like get more views on there and just like step away from the conspiracy a little bit, but still plug one video in there, but go
Wait, hold on, you're doing
the
spoon
mainstream.
reviews?
That's what I do on IG.
You're doing spoon reviews?
Well, yeah, it's called like spoon talk. Like for like TISM, there's like special spoons that people have like their go-to spoon whenever they eat something because it's most
I have a
comfortable
go-to
for them.
spoon. Absolutely.
I
It's
have
like
That's
a
what
one.
I mean.
national
Yeah,
pork spoon that they love.
I'll show you guys mine.
It depends what I'm eating. I have like ones that are shaped perfect for soup, and then I have ones with like a wooden handle that if I'm eating like ice cream, I want that one. I have a like grapefruit spoon like an old lady.
Oh my gosh, a grapefruit spoon. Eating cantaloupe with a grapefruit spoon is like next level, by the way.
It's like the most perfect spoon out there and has a baby one too.
It
It's
is a
like
good spoon.
perfectly
spoon. I love
rounded.
it.
You know what?
perfectly
It'd be funny if
weighted.
Layla held up her spoon and it was shaped like this.
Like, oh, what the fuck? But yeah, these are my go-to. They're the only ones I have left out of the entire set, and I just save them now. Because they're my best.
You're like, don't
Those
fuck
are
with
your
my spoon.
tattoos on the back of your legs.
It's weird, I know, y'all, but this is the thing, and I'm part of it.
I like to be the little spoon. The big spoon sometimes.
Yeah, I like being
There's
the
like a
little
shirt or
spoon.
bumper sticker in here somewhere. Like, show me your spoon.
I like to be the big spoon because I just get hot being the little spoon. I get like constricted feeling where I'm like, oh my God, like the same way you feel with your tag. I'm like,
Yeah.
get your fucking arms off me right now. Just
I'm the
immediately
big
like,
spoon,
I'm
damn
so
it.
hot. That's how it happens too. There's no warning. It's like, I'm so hot. And then it's like within 3 seconds, I feel like I go and like you'll just be
Start
cuddling
throwing
me.
laptops in pools.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just like, a cat will be sitting on my lap and I just like, I don't want to be touched. I just don't want to be touched. Anyways, okay, you guys heard enough of that today.
Hope we didn't overstimulate you.
Yeah, hope we didn't overstimulate you. Thanks for coming to
Show
hang
me
out
your
with us.
spoons.
So make sure you tag Layla and either tag her big spoon or little spoon on X when you take a picture of your spoon and let her know. And we'll also know by big spoon, little spoon, who's the power top and who's the power
Damn
bottom.
right.
That's like our little way we can get it through the censors. That could be our other one. Power bottom, little spoon, big spoon, power top, banana. See our t-shirts that we're going to come out with? All right.
This could be a coin.
Big spoon?
Big spoon, little spoon.
Up. Get ready for the launch. I don't have time, but soon.
Soon, spoon.
All right, turn it down. Juliette Lewis, bring it. Okay, XOXO Gossip Girl. Bye. Can you save us, Britney Spears? Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Here comes the Here comes the world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.